Now pay very close attention. This is very important for you, for me, for all ears that need to hear it. I will rebuttal on some things in between, and then I'll let it play a lot. I'll try to let it play a lot, and then come back and rebuttal on other things later. Be very careful while you're listening to this. This young lady is a very, very clever, manipulative person. Even with tears, she manipulates people. She's very loving. She does love people. And she's an emotional bipolarist or something, where she really means her sincerity and her love towards people, but at the same time, there's a manipulative side to her that will stop at nothing to get what she wants. And Ida is manifestly like in her, like a demon possessing her. So listen very careful here. Ida will call and she will talk nothing about the court case, and she will talk her baby talk. Oh, I love you and this and that, and where's my beans at, and kissy kissy, blah blah blah, all the way to the end of 20 minutes of that. 20 minutes of that, and then we hang up. I love you, I love you, I love you. Get down, right? And in court, she's Queen Jezebel, cold as ice. Not just being in court with that face, whole different person. Not just the expression or the look, but the inner psychotic, but inner psychological means to an end. Got your mother in court. They gave their mother, what they did when they got Pat Murphy hired was essentially they kept calling her a court-appointed counselor. You know what that is? It is a temporary guardian. And what a pro bono just explained to me is that, here in Delaware, explained to me that this court-appointed attorney, this CAC, is a temporary guardian. And this guardian that's put on a senior citizen or a child gets to have her way with that child or that senior citizen, gets to have the last say over them and make the last say and choose something that they don't desire. That's how the man explained it to me at the court. He said they have a right to choose something that the person that they're being temporary guardian of may not like, against their will. So this is what Mary, Ida, and Robert, and little Robert, and whoever else is working with them, Jeanette, this is what they all, two of those enforce. The three are the ones that are doing it. But this is what they did to their mother. They put this temporary guardian on her, this stranger, that's making all the way up to $4,000 already in less than 4 months. Perjuring in court. Lying, telling lies. Nobody giving anybody ample time to know anything about anything that they're filing, which is against the law. They've been doing it to us since day one. Day one, not giving us any notice that it even existed in the beginning. They turned their mother over to a temporary guardian. In other words, I'm your guardian now. I tell you what to do. Well, I'm supposed to be here to give you what you desire, right? No, I tell you what to do. Yeah. So basically, this is why they shot mom down in court. Well, I'm trying to get that Pat Murphy can't get what she needs, and I can't give you what you want. Well, what do you want? Freedom from your court system. Freedom from your case. This case that is putting me into a bind where you're mad even if I move to a different state and treat me like it was wrong to do it. Who made you God and guardian over me? Who did that? Oh, if I'm the judge, I have to be honest. Well, your children did. Well, I didn't ask them to do that. Well, you're 91 years old, so you should shut up and just go along with it. Nah. But that's why that's why she hired somebody 5 years ago in the form of me to, some would say, be her power attorney. I would like to say to enforce her written bodily autonomy that's in the form of a written document known as a power of attorney. I'm an enforcer of that. I enforce that. I protect that. Her desires in that. And advance directive and advocacy and also written advocacy. I enforce that. I protect that. And that written advocacy is very powerful. Very powerful. More powerful than the power of attorney. Very powerful. Or just as powerful, but almost as powerful, almost more powerful than the power of attorney thing, because it is an extension, you might say, to the advance directive, like an amendment in a sense, where she clearly states, no one has the power over me to put me in a nursing home. No one has the power over me to facilitate me or to hold me against my will. No one has the power. And she even says, my power of attorney, me, talking about me, my agent, me, talking about me, doesn't have the authority to do it either. I wrote that. God put it in my heart to write that and have her read it and not have her sign it until she agreed with it, right? She liked it because both of us overlooked it for the first time. You know, I told her, I said, I thought about something. What if somebody tricks me into signing something? I could be signing you away into a nursing home. Well, I know what these people come up here to care for you right after coming out of the hospital. They're getting us to sign their little paychecks. So I don't know. They ain't going to turn on us and get me to sign something, sign away your freedom. And that's when I told her, I said, we need to back up. You need to block me from being able to sign you away into some nursing home, either willingly or against my will, and or being tricked into doing it. Because I'm not perfect, right? Anybody can go evil, right? I don't think that I can, but I see that my 3 other siblings going evil. You know, what's to say that couldn't happen to me one day? So she needs protection against a future version of me that may never exist. You know, an evil version. I mean, I'm just thinking some crazy stuff right now, right? It's not crazy. I can make it. I could go as far. I'm not going to go as far as to make a video for my future self. She's watching this back and tell my future self, you will not harm her in any way, not for gain or anything like that. Should someone ever chloroform me and do some type of Manchurian candidate to me and turn me into something that I'm not now, remember this. Get your memory back. Protect that woman. That's what God assigned you to do. Right? Well, just like Mom asked the court, she wants to end the case. She told Mary the same thing. She told Tanya Hall, the same exact thing. And even more. She said, or tell it to the court. Tell it to the court. Because she was so sure that she was going to get those lies through that she told her she was going to tell the judge. And she was so sure that telling us on the phone was lawful enough, other than putting it in writing and giving us 15 days to get that in the mail or postage on it. You know? And they let her do it because he's a wicked judge. He's been a wicked judge since day one, Rosenblum. Day one, making this court go dark and still officiating from the darkness, making crazy decisions from the darkness. That's a demon in him that's afraid of Georgia. He couldn't even look her in the face when we first came. So he took our case and amalgamated it with their case. I opened the case, had to open the case just so I can show them and tell them in court, I'm here to let you know that she doesn't need a conservator. But if you're going to give her one, it's going to be me, nobody else. And the power of attorney paper clearly states that I want my son, John, my agent, to choose a conservator if I should need one. And if he wants to choose himself, he can do it. That's what she has written in a power of attorney, right? And she signed on it and initialed it. They act like it doesn't even exist. You know, they're going to accuse me of being in control, and the demons inside of Richard is going to accuse me of being in control or wanting power and wanting control and going mad with power as a way of covering for the demons in Mary, Ida, and Robert, and Pat Murphy, and Tanya Hall, and Judge Rosenblum, and Judge Clay, and Commissioner Priber, and Merlin, the magician, Hernandez. All of these wicked, evil hierarchy people. They're going to sit up there and they're going to try to, what do you call it? Gaslight. They call it gaslighting, smoke screening. It's when they accuse you of something that they're guilty of. So, and they make other people believe that you're actually guilty of what they're accusing you of to take the spotlight off of themselves so they can dip around in the shadows and actually do what they're accusing you of. It's one of the oldest tricks and hustles in the book, in the satanic book, Grimoire, Magic Grimoire. You understand? I want you to listen to this conversation. I'm going to try to explain this along the way. Just be very careful of Mary's witchcraft. She's very good. She's like Selena Gomez. When Selena Gomez starts crying, everybody feels bad for her. And really, really ready to coddle her and just do what she wants. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. Watch this.
Would dismiss this case. Your case.
The case with Robert, this is the thing.
Yeah.
When you were sick, we wanted to work with John and make decisions with John when you were sick.
Uh-huh.
And that's all we really wanted. And then, when you're well, I would like to see you and spend time with you and go play.
I want you to notice she never accused me of what she accused me of in court. When she's talking to Mom, she won't say it. In court, she said that I tried to kill Mom. Mary, Ida, Robert, little Robert, they all said, and Richard, I tried to kill Mom by turning down medicines that they recommended the doctors give them, and I turned those medicines down, and they didn't give it to her. You know what? She is fine today. She recovered today. They gave her what they needed to give her, and not what they wanted to give her. You understand? It's not the first time we've been through that in her ER visits, and whether she had to stay or whether they can get her out in the same night. Negotiation. They always bring the money-making medicine first. You got to tell them, hey, what is the side effects of that? What is it, we ain't got time for that. Yes, you do. What is the side effects for that? No, she don't need that, and neither do I. In those other hospitals, we always come to an agreement with something else with less side effects that actually gets her in and gets her out. These absolute idiots try to overthrow her hospital thing because Richard called them and brought those beasts, the children of the beast, right in. Those murderous, with the murderous spirits, right in there. Messengers of death, right in there. Calling me up. Won't you suggest a COVID swab? Mary told me to suggest a COVID swab. I don't know why. She's clearly having some type of TIA, that they kept calling a seizure, and I knew it wasn't a seizure. Yeah, okay, so I knew it wasn't a seizure. And then when I had them do the brain test, on her. When they was doing the brain test, they suggested the brain test, and I said, yes, good idea. Find out if it's seizures first, and they wanted to give her the seizure medicine first. I said, no. And they said, well, and Ida was mad about that, dictating. And I said, no, you're not giving her that. She said, she wants to know all the side effects of everything you give her. That's her will. That's in her testament, and her thing. That's what you will do. And first of all, and then I asked him, was it a psych drug? And he said, yes. And I said, you're not giving it to her. And then he said, well, we give it to people with psychotic problems. I said, well, you're not giving it to her. And I said, you know what? You are going to test her first. Do the brain test first. Find out if she's having seizures. He said, we don't know, but, well, that might not show us. It'll show us if she's having seizures now or if she's not. And if it don't show us now, that doesn't mean she wasn't having them earlier. Well, I'm a living testimony to the fact she wasn't having seizures earlier. She was with me the whole time. I know what seizures are, how it works. You know, I've been with my brother-in-law who had absent seizures, and he had a couple of grand malls that I missed. Well, there was one that I caught, but I wasn't there with him in Ohio, but I knew it was something because he wouldn't answer the phone. He went off the phone when we were talking, and I didn't hear from him again. Usually with absent seizures, he would go off the phone for a while. And even if I got him back, when I got him back, he would even tell me I must have had one of those things because I don't remember. Last time I remember talking to me, I didn't remember hanging up. One time he had a grand mal, and I because I knew he didn't come back, so I called it Ohio from Georgia. I called Ohio, the hospital, gave him his address. I said, look, I know him. I said, you need to please get over there. And then they went and they got him. You know, he had a grand mal. You know, and then, so up to date, they're acting like I don't have no knowledge of medicine whatsoever. What kind of idiot do they think I am? They are the idiots, but assuming that I'm taking care of mom all these years and having the responsibility from her doctors to know how to give her medicine, that I'm not going to study these medicines, that I'm not going to research medicine. Through all these years, just give her blindly, just they told me to without having no knowledge about it whatsoever. Don't they know that once you start researching it and you start getting knowledge, you start learning exactly a lot of what they're teaching them on their way to their degrees, you know, in their medical colleges? What idiots they are. Idiots. My degree makes me, oh, shut up. Your degree makes you arrogant. A narcissist is what it makes you. That you would frighten your own sister into doing a procedure that kills her. And still you felt no remorse and no guilt for what you did. Now you want to run that on your mother. Think again. Think again. You being used by Satan, and I am God's servant and an enemy of Satan. You think that I'm going to let you pass and get near her? You thought wrong. There's not any judge high enough that can give you the authority on this planet to pull it off. No, you have to put a bullet to your own brother's head. You know? And so basically, you wouldn't put it that far. You wouldn't put it past some of them, like little Rob, you wouldn't put it past some of them to actually probably put a bullet in my head one of these days. He ain't my uncle no more. He ain't my brother no more. They'll probably pull the trigger. That's how crazy the demons are inside of them. You know? I'm not prophesizing. I'm just making the truth known. Let me turn this recording back on. But I want you to notice that she never, when she brought up the hospital to mom, and mom just asked her on video, on audio recording, I want you to drop the case. She goes into her emotional thing, and then she starts, you know, the ball off with the hospital thing. And we just want to be able to take care of you too. And she goes into this thing about showing that she and Ida and Rob are nothing more than spoiled brats, still the children that they were when we grew up in the house together. Jealous of the baby of the family, receiving more attention, that type of situation. I'm jealous of the baby of the family, receiving more attention. What is wrong with you? I'm not a baby no more, and clearly I've been taking care of our mother for how long now, and her medical needs too, and nutritional, right? That you want to jump in out of nowhere and all of a sudden get jealous like we're those little kids. Nicholas is growing up in the same house, being jealous of each other. Mom, you gave him this, but you didn't give it to me. I want it too. Like a bunch of spoiled brats that were once spoiled, and then when they seen the new kid come along and get spoiled more, they got jealous. You know, childish. Simply, Robert called me childish the other day. See, that's what they accuse you of what they are. You know, they accuse you of what they are. Gaslighting. It's called gaslighting. He's not smart. He's not my brother. He's Satan's brother. He's Satan's child. How could he be my brother? He said it himself when we were arguing after Brenda died. He clearly let me know that he said the Holy Spirit you believe in is not God. That's what he told me. Well, if the Holy Spirit that I believe in is not God, meaning not your God, and I have the right and correct Holy Spirit and the right God, that means your God is not the real God, which means you're not my real brother. Maybe by blood, but not ecclesiastically, you know, not by the blood of Jesus that he invoked on me the other day. He's really invoking the blood of a strange God on me, pleading the blood on me. First he said the blood of Jesus, and then he drops Jesus' name and starts saying the blood, the blood. And I warned him about that. People that do that, dropping Jesus' name, you know, chanting blood, you sick witch. You become a warlock. That's a witch's incantation, you know. Everything is a counterfeit, and some things are not counterfeit. They just don't exist in the Bible at all, you know, chanting blood. But anyway, we regress. But Mary here in this video, she's not telling Mom that John tried to kill you. She's not telling Mom that when you were in the hospital, John, he didn't let us give you something. Not that he tried to give you something that was going to hurt you, medicine. No, he blocked medicine that was going to save you. You know how asinine that would sound? Because the fact that I blocked the medicine and they didn't give it to her, and her life was saved anyway, without it, proves that she didn't need it. You see? But it could have, would have, could have. Sick. That's why I told Mary before. She told me I'm a mad scientist 6 years ago. I told her, and she doesn't trust me. And I told right there in the hospital, Mom's hospital room, 6 years ago. And I told her, the way you feel about me as an individual, I feel about your whole medical organization. Bunch of mad scientists experimenting on human bodies instead of saving us. That didn't come as a surprise to her. But I want you to notice that she did not accuse me to Mom. She didn't. I don't know if she's being nice or she knows it's not true. Mary has a hard time sometimes when she's trying to not lie after having lied. She tends to withhold certain things. And so in this audio, she mentioned the hospital, but she mentioned what she really wants, what they really want. Power, control of Mom's medicine. Richard accused me of being power hungry. You don't let grandmother spend no time with nobody. You used to, but you stopped for some reason. I stopped with certain people because they became mad. They became reckless. They became self-serving. They became the people that Jesus throws out of the house for their lack of faith, or their, not just lack of faith, but Jesus don't throw nobody out just for lack of faith. He throws people out for lack of faith and challenging and putting up an open challenge against faith. And that's the difference. Standing there having a lack of faith is doubting. He can do something to make you believe. But actually standing there having a lack of faith and actually doing something physically or verbally to actually challenge faith, go against faith, that Jesus does not stand for. Doesn't stand for that. You get rebuked, you get removed, you get put out the house, you get whipped out of the temple, you know. So I'm not going to say kudos because she didn't throw me under a bus by telling Mom he didn't give you that medicine and it almost killed you. Instead, she went straight for what she knows, the real thing that they really want. We want to be able to control your medicines whenever you go into hospital situations and emergency situations. Why would I give you that? Why would she give you that? You never came around with your nurse's degrees to do that all these 20 years. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, that's what you want. You have too much faith in your medicine and your procedures than you do in your God. You don't even remember who your God is anymore, do you? You think that you do. Mary, Ida, Victoria, she calls herself on Facebook, to cover up something else from the past, but I won't bring that up. Robert, Senior or Junior, whatever. You think. Play, Sam.
Without, having threats of any police being called on me, which y'all haven't done here.
Grandpa, yeah.
Just down the block here. Just keep on going. We're like, okay.
Oh, that's Grandpa. He sure did.
That's the small
the judges that she's going to call Mary to dismiss the case. And
this is me opening the video.
And letting them know that she's in her own state of mind. Nobody's leading her to say anything but God himself. All right, here we go. I'm not saying Mary's going to answer, but video or audio? Glenn? Let's go audio, right? So we can stay.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, good. Michael's here.
She immediately breaks this restraining order that Mom put against Michael immediately. This is what under restraining order is called third party. She's not allowed to do any third party. She knows that Mom put a restraining order against Michael, and they try to make the court think that I did it myself because I helped her fill it out, which was legal to do. The police told me I had a right to do it, and I did it right there in front of the camera at the court on a probate so they can see it. That me helping her, but her actually signing off and agreeing to it. In the police department, when the judge partially granted it, for the reasons of it looked like somebody else was writing things too. I immediately told the clerk, I want to talk to the judge, make her understand something. Yes, I helped her fill it out. I had every right to do that as her primary caregiver by law. Oh, you can't talk to her right now, but it's okay. She still approved it. Okay. But you got to take it over to the police department to finalize it right across the hall. Took it over. I told the cops, I said, hey, the judge got a problem with this. She only partly granted it because she said it looked like somebody else was filling something out. And I said, yeah, that's me. That's me. And they said, yeah, you have every right to do that. You're a caregiver. Yeah, you have every right to do that and help her fill this out. As long as she signs it herself. And she signed it herself. She read it. She understood it. She signed it herself. And they said, we're about to close, but we're about to give you a form now. And we're going to let you fill it out. It's for her, but we're going to let you fill it out. But you have to let her sign it. They gave me the form. They said, you can sit right over there. We sat down. The lady was busy, but she kept watching us. And I filled out the form for her and handed it to her, and they watched her sign it herself. And then Michael went ahead to avoid the cops, keep avoiding them, trying to enrich it cover for him. So she jumps right off from the back, from the start of this, talking about, Michael's here. She thinks that she can get Mom if they started recording on Michael's phone, once Mom picked up, they start asking her to drop the case or whatever. Well, she didn't start asking her yet. I don't know if they were recording, but just in case, they at least want to hear Mom have a friendly conversation with Michael to make it seem like she didn't put the restraining order out. It had to be somebody else. Why is she being so nice to him now? She's not scared of him. Mom loves everybody. The restraining order clearly has my name on it and my writing in it. I signed my position inside. Mom has a position inside too that she signed off on. Things that happened. I wrote everything in detail what happened because Mom didn't remember that. And I had every right by law to do that. And they took it as though like that's against the law. No, it's not. Otherwise, the police wouldn't have let it go through. They wouldn't have let me put it through. The judge either. She wouldn't have put a partial acceptance on it. Not even a partial. And they're gonna tell you, the judge is a man. The judge is a man. No, the judge was a woman, but I challenged her and fired her because she questioned. She questioned. Any judge that questions what grants you cannot be trusted to do their full job. I removed her, and then I believe Mary tried to challenge the next judge, Ryan Williams, as did I. Neither of us got rid of him. But then she's on this thing talking like she's breaking it. And now she changed the meaning of it to mean that it's not that much of a threat. It don't mean that, like she said, it doesn't mean that Mom can't come to her house because Michael lives there. And Mary knows because on I'm gonna show you on the first things that they sent us back in April. We got it late in April, and on the second week when we were supposed to get on the first week, they took away our due process. It literally says, Your Honor, please, my mother is in a state mentally where she cannot think for herself. She's not well, and blah, blah, blah. And she was recovering from pneumonia. And then, but they try to use that, manipulate that to make it seem like she was not in her right mind. What they say, should have been honest, she's recovering from pneumonia, and we think it's a murder situation. But what he should have said was, well, if the judge was honest, he should have said, well, come back after she recovers and put it through, because I want to speak to her and let her speak for herself. Instead, they didn't do that. They said that she was not in her right mind, is what they said, mentally, and that she was in danger living with me, and that she needs to be moved to Mary's house immediately. That's what the court order says. Mary called me on my birthday and argued with me. I didn't say that. The lady that prepares the document, that's what she wrote. What are you tripping? What are you, some bipolar freak or something? She wrote the desires of your heart. Yes, she prepared it. She wrote it out for you, but it was the echoes of your numb mother betraying brain. Clearly. I mean, she told the court, take her, which means you've taken her away from her livelihood, her life, her house. She has her own house through Section 8, which means you're trying to get rid of her Section 8 so she can be this old lady living with you against her will and being taken care of by your boyfriend/husband and his perverted And his perverted self looking at our mother naked while she was in the ER, went and turned away and looked back at her like he had an excuse to look at her naked because he's a nurse. No, you're not a nurse that works there, sir. You pervert. You straight pervert. Who do you think was the one that got him off of the molestation charges at his the nursing home that he was working at with my niece? When my sister Mary took the job there as some high director that had control, had power, she got him off the hook. Basically, they silenced that patient, made that patient look like she was off her meds. You're going to answer for that. You're going to answer for that. If he really did it to her, you're going to answer for that. Well, I know he looked at our mother naked. Freak. And then he going to try to come in between me and mom by helping assist Mary to get mom brought back to his house. Hi, Mom. I love you, Mom. Sick freak. Oh, I loved him. Yeah, I loved him. I embraced him. I hugged him. I accepted him at first. But he betrayed that. He betrayed that clearly. And clearly, my own brother and sisters try to take mom from her own house where I am with her. And then had the judge do it. I mean, which they was turned down flat on that one for now. Not that the judge didn't want to do it, but in their game of chess, they move at a different pace, you see. That's how they do things. Not fast enough for Mary and I. Michael going along with trying to take mom. So what? When Mary goes to work and Richard's not home, or he's out working or whatever, Michael is going to be the one there taking care of our mother and thinking that he's doing it better than me because he has a nurse's degree. You sick freak. You stabbed me, man. You try to take my mother and you want to tell people that John really loves me. Oh, I do, because of the love of Christ. But I'm not entertaining no satanic warlock. It's not going to happen. You're a man stealer. You're a mother stealer. You're a man stealer. And if you can't see that, you got an issue, brother. You got the issue. Trying to take my mother and put her in your house like you can take care of her better than I can. What you sick freak? You absolute sick freak. And then they're going to sit up there verbally and deny it. No, we didn't try to get in the movement. We didn't try to get in the movement. They say everything opposite to what they say in the court papers. So does Richard. Like witchcraft. It's like witchcraft. They really believe when they're saying the opposite of what they wrote in the paper. I warned Richard. I warned him when he was doing that false loyalty for his mother. I said, Richard, you are going to testify against me in court if you do not stop. I would never do that. As a matter of fact, if I would go to court, I promise you, I'll tell them that I'm on your side. I said, Richard, don't play. You know what? Richard ended up right in court testifying against me, not even a couple of weeks later, because he's poisoned. He's poisoned by his own mother. He talks to me like he keeps telling me I have a mental problem. Samantha never said that, although just recently she posted something about mental issues. Now, she could say she's doing that for a different reason, but it's kind of ironic that she's posting something about mental problems when clearly Mary and Richard are telling me I have a mental problem. Sound interesting? I'm not accusing you, Mandy. I'm just saying that it's timely. It's an interesting timeliness that you posted something about having mental problems when your brother and your mother are straight up accusing me to the court and accusing me and saying right now that I have a mental issue. And I know, sweetie, you're probably going to say, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. It's just a coincidence. And it could be. It could be. We have coincidences on Facebook all the time. You know, like that. So I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying, yeah, be careful. Anyway, yeah. I'm a reader of these things, and I just get locked up. Well, I'm not going to do it. But she starts the ball up in this video right here, this audio, by introducing mom to Mike on the phone. She knows there's a restraining order. She's not supposed to do that. She plays down a restraining order. As I play the audio, she's going to play down the restraining order as if it is not in power the way that she knows it is in power, as if it is not enforced in any particular force in a way that it really is. You know, you could deny the force of it all you want to. Your boyfriend / husband, why is he tipping the cops then? Why won't he answer the door for them if it's not that powerful? Because he doesn't want to give away his guns temporarily. I mean, until they won't take it forever, just temporarily until the restraining order is lifted or until some agreement is came to. Psychology speaks on this wise. She tried to hide Michael from the beginning of the court by calling herself Mary Cole. And I exposed that to the CJP and to the press and to the media and to higher judges and I exposed it to Judge Clay and all of them. That their whole documents are null and void because they're using signatures. They got somebody else's, all three of them got somebody else to sign for them. And Robert denied it the other day. He said, well, there's something called e-sign. I said, I'm not stupid. I know what e-sign is. Brother, I told you that's not your signature. That is not your signature. The court is supposed to examine those signatures, test it against your real signature, not just in real-time signature, like you sign something now, that too, but something that you signed a year ago, or even better than that, 3 weeks or 1 week before you went to court and signed those other ones. Run your signature, your real signature against that, against the ones on the court papers. I told him, Robert, I said, I got a professional with a degree to look at your signatures, and they let me know. They told me that it's only one person signing all three of those signatures, all three. And yet the court keeps allowing it and permitting it and allowing for it and flipped it and made me out to be guilty of all the letters that I sent out to all these people. Like playing it like mom doesn't know anything about it. She can't, they take advantage of her memory of these things when she can't remember. They take advantage of that and run it as if she never did it herself, because she doesn't understand it right now. She don't remember. Or when she's remembering and is expressing remember, she understands fully what it means and she fully agrees with it. And that's how elderly people with bad memories, that's how that works. Once you remind them, hey, you signed it for this reason. And you get them thinking about it, oh yeah, I remember that. Well, they try to take advantage of her memory by saying, because she got a memory issue, that means she didn't really do it. She don't know if she signed it. You see how they're manipulative? Meanwhile, sneakily, they've taken control through a temporary guardianship over her and won't let her talk in court. And I had to tell her, you heard me on a court video telling her, speak your mind, speak your mind. I whispered it, I said, speak your mind, but you can hear it. I wanted her to talk over Tanya Hall. Tanya Hall is a witch. She's a straight witch. I'm telling you, she's a Trinidadian voodoo worker, voodoo root worker, satanic. So basically, let me play this some more. She's trying to get mom all friendly with Mike so that she can show somebody later that, see, she's not even concerned about a restraining order. But watch what happens.
Yes. Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine in the Lord.
Oh, sounds just fine. Are you walking around this early?
Oh, no.
Go back a little bit.
Me up.
Go back a little bit.
Still audio, right?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, good. Michael's here.
Yes.
Did you hear the long pause? Mom used to, with Mike, she used to say hello immediately. Now she knows they're going to say, well, that's because you put things in her head against him. No, that's because he tried to attack her son and almost injured her to get at me at the hospital. And almost injured Samantha too, because if we would have gotten into a scrap, we could have ended up fell on Mom in a bed or fell back on Samantha, who was pregnant at the time. You see? Yeah.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
She paused and said, hey, because it took her by surprise. She didn't know that they was going to do that to her.
I'm doing just fine in the Lord.
Oh, sounds just fine. Are you walking around this early?
No.
Okay, let's fast this down. Small talk.
I'm surprised you're awake.
Oh, you walking?
Yeah, I'm trying to walk, get this knee back to working.
Yeah, I thought,
It's so beautiful.
yeah, they are. No.
You should
Stretch
get out
out.
there and enjoy the fresh air.
Stretch out.
Delaware was my town before, so I kind of know that place. So there's kind of a lot of stuff out there, so go ahead.
What she means is, I'm coming to Delaware, and I'm going to start the same bougie, demonic business with their court system, the way I started here in California. I know people. That's what she means. I'm not making this up. She means if she hadn't traveled here already and tried to start trouble with the court here, try to get up something already, she's coming. I told Richard that. I told him, I said, no, your mom is not going to do X, Y, Z. I said, one thing I know this, she's going to come to Delaware and try to start a conservatorship case here. You know?
But
Oh, yes, yes. So good, so good.
it is.
Yeah.
I heard the prices are cheap there at the grocery store.
Oh, you know when things go up, things go up.
Price is way lower there. It's like somebody told me it's $3 something a gallon.
Yeah, in Denmark, they usually go up in the next town too.
That's true. I don't know. I haven't.
Oh, you haven't spoken. When I woke up this morning, I looked out the window and it was so bright and sunny.
I'm walking by the mall.
Grandpa.
I remember Grandpa.
Sure did used to walk out.
Yes, he did. Everything for help. I remember sending Grandpa to the store for some soda. He came back with orange juice.
Oh, yes. Grandpa did that.
Yep, that's how he made it to what, 103? Remember he had that vegetable garden? Maybe you can plant a garden. Make a garden, Mom. Some tomatoes. Cucumber.
Hey, Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you if you would dismiss this case. Your case.
The case with Robert, this is the thing.
Yeah.
When you were sick, we would have worked with John and made decisions with John when you were sick.
Uh-huh.
And that's all we really wanted.
And then we went into the hospital and started to try to take over and try to dictate to the doctors what they should prescribe you, but John blocked it. And so we told him it was life-saving medicine, and we made ourselves believe it. And because he still blocked it, that means he tried to kill you, like little Robert told me the other night. You tried to kill my grandma. You ain't treat me like I'm your nephew. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You acting like a bougie punk, and knock it off. I love you, but knock it off. Stop manifesting your hatred. Stop manifesting your father's hatred of me through you, his son. Stop doing that. You've been doing that for about 5-6 years now. Little Rob, pushing off your father's hatred of me through you, channeling it. like you better, older than me, more mature than me, which you are in some areas, but not many.
When you're well, I would like to see you and spend time with you and go places.
Lies. Mary has had that. She has had that. Since the time we got to California, she's had that, but she started manipulating and trying to isolate me from mom and have her own little family without me. My family. Why doesn't, if my family, Tamara, Aaron, Samantha, Richard, if they all felt the way that she felt, that would mean that they don't want me nowhere around them while they're with mom. Why? What did I do to you? Don't you love me too? Do you love me too? So you can see my side of it. They keep twisting it. Some of them, anyway, not all of them. A couple of them keep twisting it and throwing it the other way. No. Why won't you let us spend time alone with grandma ourselves without you? It's the without you part that gets to me. Why don't you want me there? Why? Am I not your family? Stop acting like that. Stop that. You have an ulterior motive is what you have. You don't understand. If you feel like that, that means your mother's bouginess and uppityness is rubbing off on you. With family, we spend family time. I kept offering family time, and Mary wanted to have family time without John. That doesn't work for me. You're not going to get me to move out here and bring her here to California, not here to Delaware, but here to California. And then when we get to California, start trying to do certain maneuvers to come between us. And there's multiple pictures of mom with them at events where I'm not even there. And that's at a time when I didn't mind that. But when I saw Mary's true nature and what she was really trying to do, Mary didn't want nobody to have mom but herself. She used me to take mom from Georgia to get her there. And then right now what she did was she flipped on that, and she flipped it to make it seem like it was on my choice. I'm the one that took mom away from all the family in Georgia. I'm the one that want to hold mom to myself. I'm the one. Well, because she knows right about now in this time of mom's life, she can't travel like she used to no more. She can't, unless it's going to be a one-way trip, she can't do no long traveling like that. She can't just, be with every family member because we're all spread out in different states. It doesn't just work that way, And she knows it. She herself put her foot down and told Ida and Robert, essentially, get out here and start flying to her. Time to stop making her fly to you. Ida and Robert must have thought she was a hypocrite because all the times that we went to see Mary in California, me and mom, I'm saying, Mary was helping to pay our way on the Greyhound, making mom ride a bus all the way to California. It's what probably in Ida and Robert's mind about that, or should be. She don't want us to put mom on a plane and fly her here no more, but she was putting her on a bus the whole time. Well, which is better? Well, yeah, Mary and Robert flipped it to make it seem like, I decided to hog mom to myself. Like it had nothing to do with, okay, our life the way it is now, me and mom, and the way the doctors even have it set up. Her medicines are spread throughout the day, all throughout the day. And no one will give her medicine but me. That's the way the relationship we grew into, and nobody else around. And so I'm not just going to say, Mary come along and say, well, won't you just give us the medicine? We'll give it to us. Tell us what time she takes it. The fact that I have to tell you what time she takes it lets me understand that, what am I, your teacher or something? No, I'm not telling you that. Let your medical degree tell you. And I'm not going to let you practice your medical degree, your incantation degree on our mother. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So Yeah. And then, so yeah, let's move on.
Without, having threats of any police being called on me, but y'all haven't done that. I know you know what's best for you. You could tell the lawyer what's best. The police being called on me, but y'all haven't done that. I remember sending Grandpa to the store for some soda. He came back with orange juice.
Oh, yes. Grandpa did that.
Yep, that's how he made it to what, 103?
Later on, she gets a little slick. My mom keeps asking her about it. She keeps giving long speeches. Like she don't want mom to talk no more. So she keep talking. Not letting mom breathe another word. Talking.
You gotta play that game. Make a garden, Mom. Some tomatoes. Cucumber.
Hey, Mel,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you if you would dismiss this case, your case.
The case with Robert, man, this is the thing.
Yeah.
When you were sick, like, we wanted to work with John and make decisions with John when you were sick. And that's all we really wanted. And then, when you're well, I would like to see you and spend time with you and go places without, having threats of any police being called on me. But
I threatened to call the police on her a year ago because she threatened to come and take mom by force, regardless of what time of day she takes her medicines. You put her life in danger. You're reckless. And then you try to make people believe by spreading that lie. She didn't just say that to mom just then. She's been spreading that lie for a year now. And like she just said, I'm not saying that he's done it. He hasn't done it in about a year. No, but it still stands. That if you ever try to come and get her and act like you don't care about when she takes her medicine, then no, you're not getting her. You're reckless. She said, why don't you just give me the medicine then? No, because you're not her primary caregiver to give her that medicine. I am. That's my position. That's my job. I don't have a degree for that, and I don't need one. My degree is written in my heart. I really long to do it, even when I wasn't getting paid for it, So, basically, yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time because I haven't really asked to do that.
See, he hasn't really done that in a long time. He hasn't really threatened to call the police on me because I haven't asked to spend any time with you alone. What she's admitting. I haven't, in a whole year, she said a while, but it's been a year since we had the argument, a little more than a year now. And Mike was in her head. I heard Mike on the phone in her ear, putting these ideas in her head. And we argued. She had me walking through the store. I'm like, walking through the grocery store, trying not to argue. She kept saying things that drive me crazy. And I made her promise then. I said, you betrayed me at that hospital in 22. When you told them nurses, let's call APS because he gave her that medicine. He's supposed to give her the one that the doctor prescribed when he was not at the hospital this morning. Why was not at the hospital this morning? Why? Because you lied and took our POA papers and shuffled them under and got me removed from the hospital the night before, and then try to act like you wanted to help me get back in by sticking a swab up my nose when you knew I was in a disagreement with it, and then promised me that your signature on that swab test that came out negative would get me through those doors, and it did not. They did not recognize you. And so the security at the door said, go to the sheriff's department, get it done again the right way. And I had to do that. 20 minutes later, another swab. Burning sensation going down my neck, staying there for 4 weeks because of that slap crap going up my nose. And then I get back into the hospital, and she's going to go ahead and Ida and conveniently make the POA papers disappear so the doctor can prescribe her something behind my back, which I did not give her. Richard actually bought her medicine from the house because the nurse told male nurse told me I could give it to her. He almost got in trouble. He thought Richard brings the medicine, and when he seen how mad his mother was, he backed down like a little punk. Like a little punk, he backed down. He wasn't that tough version that spoke against his mom under our roof. Oh, my mom this and my mom that. And I'm telling you, I'm siding with you on this. And my mom is this and that. And she keep doing, I don't trust their medicines like that. And da-da-da. Now, in real time, face to face, he's a punk to his mother. He punked down real quick. Well, how do you know about nothing? I don't know about nothing. Punk. And so, basically, she ended up threatening to call the APS. Because they try to argue over her bed back then at 22, and I told her she's not. While she's under her own medication, she is giving me the authority as POA and advance directive to protect her bodily autonomy. You are not giving her that new medicine because I should have been here this morning. Why did security escort me out the night before? I should have been able to stay there. And you know what? Thank God for Lena, because Leonard, she got me back in there. She called the director of the hospital. He's a POA. He's supposed to, I know about now. He's supposed to be there all night. He could stay all week. And the POA, the director agreed. The director got actually mad and punished the girl that was working that night. The next night she punished her. Had her in the corner somewhere doing quiet time. And because she knew when I told her that night, I said, call your director. She's not available. She's not going to pick up. But you got to leave. Fine, I'll have it. Mom was like, please don't leave. I said, I'll be okay. You'll be okay, Mama. I said, you'll be okay. I'll be back the next morning. I didn't get back in time for that doctor, though. That's exactly what they wanted. That's where all the confusion started. You locked me out. They gave her, they prescribed her medicine that she was supposed to take. But by the time I got back, I stopped her from taking it because it was a heart medicine. It's like she needed now. No, she doesn't. I will give her the heart medicine she always takes. And that's how I blocked them from giving it to her. They kept telling her, the nurse kept telling her on Mary's side, they kept telling her, would you like to take this medicine the doctor gave you? Yeah. And the mom said, I'll take it if you want me to take it. And the girl looked at her like, no, we can't. That's not the answer we need. Because they can't have her say, I'll do it because you want to do it. Makes them look bad. Makes it look like they coerce her into doing it. So they need her to say, yeah, I'll take it. I really want to take it. And she won't say it. She wouldn't say it. So they proceeded to, they proceeded to go consolidate, deliberate in the hallway. She left me there with Samantha. And I pleaded with Mom. I said, Mom, I got your medicine. Please take your medicine. I don't know, baby. I don't know if we should do it. Because I said, Mom, it's your body. I said, you do it. I said, please. I pleaded with her. Please, Mom. Please take your medicine. Please. And then Mandy, she was like, I don't think you should give it to her. And then she ran out the room to go tell on me, I guess. I think that's what you did anyway, Mandy. But I don't know. And then I said, please, Mom, please. And Mom said, okay. She took it. Right? And they come running in the room. What did you do? I gave her medicine. I'm the one that gives her medicine at home. I'm the one that gives her medicine wherever she is. They didn't know what to do. Mary talking about, can't you just maybe give her half of that new one and try to measure, make sure it comes into the same dosage? Like supposed to be a nurse practitioner, right? It's 2 different types of heart medicines, 2 different products, 2 different brands. Oh, we can't do that. Well, can't you? And I told them, if you do that, what Mary's asking you to do, I said, wouldn't that make you an oxymoron? I said, you're basically doing something, trying to do something now that you told me that I didn't have a right to do. And they thought about it and looked at each other and looked at her and said, we can't help you. And they walked out. And she didn't like that. She didn't like that. It's like she felt like I took control of the nurses at the hospital, but I didn't. I just gave them common sense reasoning, common sense reasoning. What Mary wants is, she doesn't want, like she just told Mom, we want a right to take care of you when you're sick. No. You want to conjure up words of death, to send demons out, to make her sick by life being in the power of life and death being in the tongue. You want to conjure up words to make her sick, and false worrying, oh my God, I hope my mama don't die soon because she's 90, blah, blah, blah. Have people calling her just because she's old, thinking she's about to die. That's demonic. Stop calling for that reason. You won't be answered. You call to speak to her for real because she's alive and you're enjoying the fact that she's alive and not contemplating her death. Maybe you'll get an answer to the phone call. We're not entertaining the spirit of death. Not. Just back up, devil. Back up. Yeah, in the form of nieces, nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews, grandchildren, great-grands. If you're thinking in that line of why you want to call because you think she's going to die, stop that. Because you'll never get through to her. I'm not letting the spirit of death come into our premises by you. We want to be able to dictate when you get sick. And John won't let us. We want to be able to they want to be able to make an impression on our family so they can say, they look at it as getting credit for taking care of Mom, so it makes them look good. That's the way they look at it. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as though this is our mother. She needs help. Time to save her. They look at it as though we're using these saving techniques in order to get credit for it. So John's not the only one to be able to say he does everything for her. Jealousy, your name is Mary, Ida, and Robert. So that's what she's doing in this video right now. Right now, she's just making it clear that, she wants equal billing or equal whatever they call it at the hospital when it comes to taking care of Mom when she goes in. And I'm not. I already knew that it would be a bad idea to let them in there because they are harbingers of death. Got so that when Mom was in the hospital, when she started recovering and doing much better, and we've seen the signs, these two would come in and stand over her bed. Doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Maybe, did you try giving her? Get out of here, you sick freak. You are so under the spell of your Antichrist medicine that you don't even realize what you're doing. Trying to experiment on your own mother. And when your brother blocks it, you call him Antichrist. You call him a criminal. And trying to take me to probate court was a criminal matter and had them officiate over a civil matter or a criminal matter rather than a family matter.
And I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight anything. And so I don't know, Mom. I just want what's best for you. I know you know what's best for you. You can tell the lawyer what's best for you.
You can tell it to my lawyer. I want what's best for you. So against your will, I'm going to get the court to give me an order to come get you, even though I know that you don't want to go. Ida right now in her ear calling it tough love. Robert calling it tough love. Because they think that there's a chance that Mom won't end up in Pat Murphy's custody. Pat Murphy is a money grubber. If Mom were in her custody, she'd be getting paid a lot more money. They think that it's going to be a smooth operation. Yeah, smooth operator, huh? They think that it's going to be a smooth operation and that it's going to flow from Pat straight to them. And that Tanya is definitely going to enforce, making sure they get Mom. Well, Tanya is not going to bring this thing to an end at all because she just started getting paid. And any lawyer that just started getting paid ain't helping you close no case. So stop. Giving you conservatorship would actually close the case. Tanya don't want that. She ain't made enough money yet to send back to her Trinidadian and witchcraft family. You know, she ain't made enough money yet. You know, so basically, yeah, when she comes from the wicked hours of Irene, what's her last name? Cavalier or Collier. You know, same address, same building. You know, evil document preparers. But anyway, we move on. We progress. We never digress. On with the video.
You know what? Feelings against John. I love him, but I just don't think it's.
I love you too, Mary, but apparently you do have hard feelings against me. Very hard feelings. And jealousy.
Hey, Mom. I'm just trying.
Unnecessary jealousy.
I would just like they're your children, and that's not right.
Well,
I'm trying to take you away. Sick.
She was all normal in the beginning. You're right. That's like bipolarism. Yeah, that's because Mary's not bipolar. But I'm gonna tell you what she does is, when she wants away, she tries to get away by any means necessary, and she ends up trusting wicked people like Robert and Ida. And then what they do is they put all the burden and all the stress on her to handle it. And then they disappear into their shadows while she's handling it. And if she does something they don't like, they'll tell her straight up, that was stupid. You shouldn't do it that way. You're going to ruin it for us. And then she gets upset. Mary gets upset when they do things like that to her. Well, why are you working for them for? You know, work for yourself.
Like, we wanted to work with John and make decisions with John when he was sick. And that's all we really wanted. And then...
No, they were taking over the hospital, telling lies to the nurses, making friends and patting each other. Oh, I used to work with you. And hey, can you keep touch with me about things about my mother? Breaking the HIPAA law. And I kept telling them, that's illegal. You can't do that. That's why I'm attorney. I'm telling you, I set up who is the emergency contact. And it's not you. Anybody else can call in and get generic information. But no, not the main information like that. They were forcing their way in. And any medicine I rejected, like Lou Rob was telling me the other day, you almost killed my grandma. You almost killed my grandma. Did you? I said, I did not. Yeah, well, did you not turn down her MRI? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I didn't turn it down. Yes and no. But they was going to get why? Because they was going to give her medicine to keep her calm. I said, yeah, like a psych med. And I said, no, you're not going to keep her calm. Wait till, wait till she gets relaxed herself. Wait till she goes sleep herself. He said, they need to do an MRI, he said, so they can check for her pneumonia, and you stop them from doing it. It could have killed her. I'm a doctor. An anesthesiologist, yep, who got drunk and high on a party bus on the way to his graduation at the hospital. And then came and potentially gave us corona, him or Mike. And then, yeah, you're a doctor, but you don't know that the MRI was for to check for seizures and not pneumonia. You don't know that they did the x-rays to find out she had pneumonia already, and that they were already having the feedback in her arm, giving her antibiotics before you even made that crazy statement or took that crazy notion in your head that the MRI was to check for pneumonia. What are you talking about, Lou Rob? I'm telling you, you're a doctor. You're supposed to know these things, right? The MRI was to check her brain to make sure she wasn't having seizures or not. And they found a different way to do it. They brought a type of MRI or a type of test to her bedside where you put the plungers on the head like this. And you got to keep her still. So me and Ida sing church hymns to her. I meant it. She did not. So she might have thought she meant it. But anyway, we progress. Never digress. We kept her still. And they did the test. The test came back the next day, negative. There were no seizures. And still they wanted to give her seizure medicine. And the doctor that did the test got mad at me and came upstairs when we was upstairs. Why didn't you let me give her this man? Why are you turning on medicines? I have a right as her doctor to just give her what I want when I want. I said, I'm going to stop you right there, sir. I'm going to stop you. I said, you are 100% wrong. I said, it's her body, her choice. And as her power of attorney, as her protecting her power of attorney and protecting her as director, I'm going to prove that verbally that you are wrong. She did not, that her body autonomy is more powerful than you thinking as a doctor you can treat it the way you want. Like forced treatment. Why did you turn down seizure medicine? Because she don't have seizures. Oh, by the way, Doc, how did that brain test come out? Did you see any seizures in it? Well, no, it didn't detect any seizures. It was clear. It was fine. Well, there you have it, I said. Right there. I didn't let him do anything else to her. He wanted to stick a needle in her stomach and said it was blood thinners. So they wanted to do it every certain amount of hours so they could take the blood thinners out of the IV bag, he said. And I told him, I said, stick her in the stomach. That's one thing she definitely will not like. And so the answer is no. Just keep giving her don't be lazy. Just keep giving her the blood thinners in a timely manner. The way she takes it at home, until she's able to swallow again, which was very soon. Well, I suggest a swab. No, because my sister suggested that for you to do that. I didn't tell him that, but that's what it was. I had to report him to the patient experience and the social worker. They removed him, and they sent Dr. Saeed, and Dr. Saeed did the same exact thing. She did the same exact thing. Now listen to this. So I had to remove her too, and she didn't like it. But she didn't move. She didn't move out of the way, though.
When you're well, I would like to see you and spend time with you and go places without, having any police being called on me, which I haven't done that in a long time because I haven't really asked to do that.
Yeah, because she just admitted it. She gave me a reason to tell I'll call the police. I told her that day, Mary, don't come here. I said, why? I said, we just argued. I said, we're arguing right now. I said, you come here. We're going to get into it. And she's like, no, we won't. I said, Mary, I said, do not come here. I said, and I told her, I said, you come here. And I said, you trying to take her by force? I said, you're going to go out of here in handcuffs. I'm going to end up calling the police on you. That's what she's talking about. She don't want to admit to the other part. She always withhold information. And she did that to me when we first got to California. As new residents here, waiting on our papers and waiting on this and that. Staying with her. Go in her room, she's moping. What are you moping about? I didn't say it like that, but I said, you okay? Mom abandoned me. What? What are you talking about? No, back in the early 90s when we first moved to Georgia. Oh, 30 years ago? Mama Sound says you finally got her out here in California. You have her now. You can celebrate with her, enjoy her. And you're upstairs moping about some fake abandonment that you claim that she did to you. She only told me part of that story, but she didn't know I knew the whole story. I'm not going to go into it because it's personal, but she didn't know I knew the whole story as to why Mom moved in with one of our sisters, and Brenda, and had her moving with Debbie. It was her own fault. She brought it on it. I'm not going to tell you why, but it's her own fault, the reason why she brought that on. Putting Mommy in dangerous situations there with the way she was living her life at the time, gallivanting, living her life recklessly. just before she started becoming studied to be a nurse. But yeah, and that's why it happened that way. Now, years later, you're a nurse. You don't want to admit that you put mom in danger to the things that you were doing. That's why Brenda said, move with me, and she moved with Debbie. That's why they did it that way. I mean, that's why they convinced mom to do that. They shouldn't have convinced mom to do anything. They should have just minded their business. But if they would have minded their business, then perhaps you wouldn't have got involved in doing the things that they got you involved in. Lasciviousness. Right? And it wouldn't have caused mom to be afraid to live in the same house with you. Being reckless and inviting strangers over. That could have seriously harmed all of you. Rich and Samantha was babies at the time. Abandoning them for your nightlife or whatever. But we all did some type of sins in our life that was bad. So I'm not going to go into no details about hers or mine or anybody else's. I'm just saying, you can't blame mom for what she did and then praise the divas. The divas was the ones that got you into what you got into. And when you got into it, they abandoned you, and then they made it look like you was a naughty girl. And then what they always wanted to do, they always wanted to spoil mom's younger kids by making them do some simple thing so they can rub it in mom's face and say, see there? Why'd you abandon us with Teddy? Mom told me that. I'm not making that up. Why'd you abandon us for him? See? Like the ones that married John, the ones that you raising to be church and Christian, look how they sinning now. We got them sinning. That's how vicious my older sisters, at least one of them anyway, was at one time. The other one was more passive, but the oldest wasn't aggressive like that, but I'm going to get you to sin. The one that taught me to cuss, the one that taught me to this. She did it to teach mom a lesson. You're trying to raise him to be a respectful Christian, I'm going to ruin that for you. And then by teaching me how to cuss, whatever it is. And that's what happened to Mary. But yeah, she didn't want to blame her divas. Instead, she blamed her mother. The mother abandoned me. No, your reckless, simple lifestyle ruined you. Got you so-called abandoned. It was not abandonment. Personally, in the neighborhood they moved y'all into, I would have abandoned it the minute I looked at it. It came right back to Staten Island where y'all should have been. I'm pretty sure Mary thought to herself, man, we need to move back to Staten Island back then. But mom needed to be in Georgia, right? No, mom didn't need to be in Georgia, not even back then. If things didn't work out at a lighthouse for her, she could have found some other place to worship. She didn't need to be there in Georgia. No, she didn't. It was never meant for her to move there. No, it was never meant for any of her daughters or son-in-laws or sons to move to Georgia. No, never meant there. Their children and ours were meant to be probably raised Staten Island, Jersey, Long Island. That's where we were from. Shinnecock natives. We were never meant to be struggling in the South, But yet our older siblings wanted to make a decision to move there and move us there, right? I stayed in Staten Island. But yeah, I'm just telling you that she was all, not crazy, but bipolar. She holds back information. She holds back information about why mom let her move in with Deb and why, she moved in with Bryn. She didn't want to tell me the other part, but mom had told me years ago. She called me and confided in me for prayer and everything about it. This is what's going on with your sister. I'm worried about it. And I didn't go into detail because no need to do that, We all did what we did when we did what we did, when we backslid and did whatever. No one is perfect in this family. But when you take that imperfection and you try to wield it against other people and make other people guilty when they are not, that's when you got a problem. That's when you got the problem. Blaming your mother for abandoning you. That's when my eyes went. We in California. That's another stage of my eyes opening and keeping an eye on her. I can't trust you with her. Then I got to the point where I started losing that thing where I couldn't trust her alone with mom. Personally, I still let her be alone with mom, but I really couldn't trust her alone with mom, knowing that she did not really forgive her over something she was not really guilty of. Holding a grudge against your mother, I guess it can shorten your own life, according to scripture. You know, she'll tell you, now, I thought about that was under the bridge and why my water. Stop. That's what she said to me when we had an argument a year ago. I told her, Mary, you betrayed me in that hospital, and you told the nurse, they call, after I gave mom that medicine, and they come running in the room. You think we should call APS now? Adult Protection Services now? I looked right at her like, oh, you betrayed me like that? So, some years later, like a year ago, that's when we had the argument. When I was at the grocery store, she was at home, and Michael was dictating things in her ear, and I told her, Mary, I said, you backstabbed me that day. I said, did you ever betray your own brother? Nobody. You know, and I told her, I said, you got to promise me something. If mom should ever end up in an emergency situation again, you got to promise me that's not going to happen again. You got to promise me that you're going to take my side, even if you think it's not right. You're going to have to at least agree to disagree, but do not take somebody else's side and stab me in the back. I got you, bro. I told you I got you, bro. She didn't apologize. She didn't say, okay. She said, I got you, bro. I told you I got you. What does that even mean? Well, if it meant I'll never do it again, it would be a lie, because here we are. Because here we are in 2026. And she did it again. Along with Robin and Ida, doing it again like they did it back then for her and with her. You know? So, yeah. More with the rebuttal.
And I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight anything. And so I don't know, Mom. I just want what's best for you. I know you know what's best for you. You can tell the lawyer what's best for you. I have no hard feelings against John. I love him. But I just don't think it's right, Mom.
She loves me, but she does have hard feelings against me, obviously. That's why she's all crying and dry one minute and wet the next.
I'm your child, just like they're your children. And that's not right.
Now she resorts to telling mom lies, like trying to make her feel guilty for enjoying me the way that she does. She built a relationship with me, and she loves all of her children and grandchildren, and sometimes she shows me extra special affection around them. And these three, they want to get jealous of it. They're not taking it as something natural that was built through a rapport, or a rapport, or whatever you call it, or that was built over a relationship, spending time with each other. You know, they don't want to take it like that. They want to take it. I want to have that too. Okay, get a relationship with her. Stop shunning her. Stop pushing her away. They're going to flip that and say, no, he's keeping her from us. No, you kept her from you. You idiots, you kept her from you.
Well,
I'm not trying to take you away. I want to be able to spend time with my mom.
Yeah.
Like that, you didn't time with my mom. You know, it's not right. That you're their mom and you're my mom.
that's right.
Respect what you.
And that's what she's telling Tanya in tears. Oh, Tanya, help me, please. Oh, I'm talking about mama. Oh, I'm talking about mama. Oh, I'm talking about my mama. The truth is, I don't want John nowhere around. I want my mom, and I don't want John at all. And it's been that way since we got to California. This is how we're becoming that. I mean, I'm not making this up. You can't make this up. I'm telling you. The whole court thing is to take her out of her own house and get her away from me. They literally said that I would be nothing without her because my job would be lost because I worked at the time for IHSS, and that they thought that if they can take Mom, that I would lose my job and lose Section 8. They were mistaken. When we was in California, I was a family member. So if they took Section 8 on Section 8, I was found as a family. So if they took Section 8 from Mom and took her off of it, because they got control of her now, guardianship or whatever, the Section 8 would have passed it on to me. That's how it works. If she died or something like that happens, they pass it to me. I was still going on Section 8. Also, at the time when I was working at IHSS, they thought that I would lose that job if they take Mom, but they're stupid in the head. No, I decided to only take care of Mom before the pandemic started, just before the pandemic started. I could have always taken care of other clients other than Mom. Matter of fact, I'm not trying to brag about humility, but the fact that they would be giving me like close to 200 hours, a little more, if I had taken multiple clients, as opposed to them starting to give me 100 hours and then 117 hours was my last thing I made there. But that's even much less than what I would have made if I was taking care of multiple clients. But I decided to take a pay cut because I want to take care of my mother, and money don't matter, But no, if they had taken her away from me with the court's help, my job would not have ended. They would have been like, oh, your mother's okay. Well, I guess the assistant in charge of her now, and she took her off the program, and that was her goal. She was going to take Mom off the program, IHSS program. And IHSS would have just told me, well, we got some other clients lined up who you want to work for, who you want to take care of. And I would have done it, for a while, and do along with Uber and Lyft. And so, no. They told the court, John knows that he would be, if we got it, he would lose his job, he would whatever. Shame on them. Shame on them for being that stupid in the head. That means they don't do no research on how these things work. Shut up over there. Like there's some water over there. But, yeah. So let's go on with her.
Hey, Mom.
So right, baby. I agree.
I respect what you say, but you gave birth to me too.
I sure did. So listen, I want to leave it up to you to dismiss the case.
But Mom, is John going to do the right thing? Is John going to let you spend time with me?
Are you going to dismiss the case? Like the judge started telling me, yes or no, say it, yes or no. No, I'm not answering that. Like, is John going to dismiss the case? Are you going to dismiss the case, Mary? Yes or no? Is John going to do the right thing? That's not what I asked you. Are you going to dismiss the case? Is John going to do the right thing? Your right thing may not be his right thing. Your right thing may be 100% the wrong thing, and John may know that. And John's never going to bow his knees and cater to you for the wrong things that you are involved in. So no. Just answer yes or no.
Is John going to let you spend time with me?
Is that ever going to happen?
Of course. Yes.
That's all.
He is.
Yeah, if you get rid of that case, if we move far from that case and you stop the thing that you were doing way years before the case came along, trying to manipulate to try to get her to be with you and just your little local family, not local, but immediate family. And Richard texted me, I don't see what's wrong with that, because you're a stupid idiot, my friend. I love you, but you're a stupid idiot for thinking that way. Richard told me himself, his own opinions against his own family and brothers and sisters and mother and stuff. like he's the black sheep and they don't treat him right. Now he's arguing for his mother, in his mother's behalf. She should have a right, and we should have a right to spend time with our grandma without you around. You clown. You straight up clown. You're a straight up clown. Because you sit up there and accuse Samantha and all of them of black sheeping you. Black sheeping you. Sweet little innocent Tamara, you accused her. You accused Aaron. As innocent as he is, you accused him of black sheeping you and cutting you out of family events. And how bad it made you feel. You said it made you feel to get cut out of family events. And they weren't even cutting you out. You said they asked you and told you about it last, and that upset you. At least they told you about it. Right? At least they told you about it. He's going to sit up there and take sides with his enemy against me. His mother against me. She's his enemy in those particular areas, not overall, I'm saying. But he's going to sit up there and take her and say, hey, look, my mother's right, we're coming after you. Nigga, you lived out of my car for 9 years. 9 years you lived out of my car. Didn't even pay any registration on it, no insurance, nothing. You didn't help me with that. And then you put gas in it, but you didn't get, and you got oil change every once in a while. That was good, but you never gave it a tune-up. Never in 9 years. 9 years of driving it and living in it, did you ever give it a tune-up? I just had to do it today. Gasket was almost blown because this guy's sitting up in the car, and I told him, stop letting that car idle so much. Idling it is less worse than driving it. Really? I said, I don't think so. I'm going to tell me after he got mad, him and his mother got mad that we left and moved out of town and didn't tell them that his mother said at least I should have let him keep the car as much as I let him drive it. I'm not letting you keep my car, the one thing that's fully paid for. How selfish are you? Stop. Grow up.
I don't know, Mom.
He is.
I don't feel like it.
But take
You
your...
lived down. I didn't even get to say
The right thing is to let you spend time with her when you drop all this madness and get away from all these crazy people. I didn't even get to say goodbye when you left.
Why to you, Mom?
But let your...
I just don't think it's right, Mom. I'm your child just like they're your children. And it's not right.
Well,
I'm trying to say.
She's broken because I didn't let her do what she wanted to do. Or what I used to let her do. Isolate me from Mom and have Mom with her family without me. Like there was something wrong with me. Screw that. Screw that. I'll be an outcast all you want, but you're not taking my mother in the process, you stupid head. Our mother in the process, you dummy. I sound like Macaulay Culkin on Home Alone, you dummy. Your horse's ass.
Your way. I want to spend time with my mom.
yeah.
Like that, you didn't help my mom. You know, it's not right. That you're their mom and you're my mom.
She's convincing herself of the lies because that's what they told the court.
That's right.
Respect what you say, Mom.
So right, baby.
She don't respect what she says. She just told her, drop the case, and she don't respect it, so no.
I agree.
I respect what you say. But
You don't respect what she says. She said, drop the case. You said no. I'll do it if John does this. Well, John's not going to do that. Not the way you want it done anyway. You can get Mom back in your life, but drop all the demonic people. You know?
you gave birth to me too.
I sure did.
You gave birth to me too, trying to guilt her own mother. She hired a temporary guardian that could literally walk in, shoot me in the head, and take Mom and put her, well, maybe not the extreme, but you know what I'm talking about. Take Mom and put her in a nursing home if she wanted to. You know? but they're just easy. They're playing this game real soft and real easy.
So listen, I want to leave it up to you to dismiss the case.
Mom, is John going to do the right thing?
No, I'm not going to do what you think to be the right thing, and Mary. And you know what? Let me tell y'all something. This private meeting with Pat Murphy, it's a trap. It's a trap. I don't remember the code, but there's a certain code that they do, these lawyers do. It's a trap when they get the person's child or get the person's elderly person in a private meeting. They call an emergency, and they get an emergency form without judge permission, and the judge grants it. We got to hold him for 72 hours. Mom won't come. If I give her mom won't come back. And she won't give him right to marry either. We got to hold her in an emergency 72 hours, and she gets paid a lot of money for it too. Pat Murphy's a kidnapper. She's a criminal. She's a kidnapper.
Is John going to let you spend time with me?
Mary and Richard will say, oh, that's in your head. That's in your head. Oh, shut up and go study, you idiots. Shut up and go study. Stop believing. Stop being so stupid and so gullible.
John gonna let you spend time with me?
Is that ever going to happen?
Of course. Yes,
I don't know, Mom. That's not what I think.
he is.
Right now, I don't know, Mom.
He is.
I don't feel like it.
But take
You
your,
left town. I didn't even get to say goodbye to you, Mom.
let your,
When you left town, I didn't get to say goodbye to you. What a psycho. We left town because prices were getting too high, and we finally wanted to do what we've been planning to do for 4 years. 6 years, actually. Come here, me get hired here, me buy a house here for Mom. And that's why we left. And also to get away from all that court stuff that she created. And she's going to say, let me get my charger, but she's going to say, well, he created, she's going to blame me for something, to try to cover up her own sins and her own crimes against her mother. She's going to essentially blame everybody. Watch you hear her. Watch right. I'll hook you up to the charger. But she's going to blame everybody for her troubles. She's even going to blame her two allies, Ida and Robert. She's going to put it on them too. And she's not too far from the truth with that. Blame them. That's why I try to encourage her. Stop listening to them. Stop listening to them. They're both. Stop listening to them. Watch this.
our feelings go toward the Lord, because God is going to answer all of our questions, whether we like them or whether we don't like them.
Yes, Mom. I know you love to be with John, and I have no problem with that.
She does have a problem with Mom being with me. That's the whole thing. That's the whole reason she wants to put Mom in her house. The whole thing was to get Mom away from me. And now they added this to it, get Mom away from me. And then she changing her mind about Mom flying back and forth to here or there. And now she would take Mom. She's trying to plan on taking Mom and giving Robert what he wants. Put her back there in Atlanta, where he's convinced all the family out there that if she's with me, you'll definitely see her all the time. No, you won't. You start visiting Delaware, you'll see her more than you will if she goes to live with Robert. I can promise you that. I can promise you that.
Oh, you do?
I thought you wanted that as well, Mom. I don't want to take you away from anybody. You belong to Jesus, not me, not Trevor, not anybody.
She said, I don't want to take you away from anybody because you belong to Jesus. So, if you read through the court thing, it clearly says that they're trying to take her away. You listen to the video of the court. You listen to the video of the court.
When's the white characters coming?
The 13th. On the 13th.
How many days?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
What's today?
What today?
Yeah.
Today's the 9th. No, I'm using that so I can. I'm doing a video right now. So I can't really look up the time right now, but I mean I can't look up the date on it right now, but
July?
I think it's the 3rd. It's going to come on the 13th. Today's the 9th, right? Thank you. Thank you. That's 9. Oh, some cookies. Hold on for a second. Follow me. Follow me. Scat. When's the last time somebody said scat to an actual cat? Scat. Scat. Do they really know what that means? Scat. Skedaddle. Well, she just said on there that she's not trying to come in between anybody, take anybody away from anybody. Right now, they got an order to come take her away and bring her to Pat Murphy, a CAC temporary guardian, who is going to invoke, look it up, I forgot what the code is. She's going to invoke the 77 whatever code to force order, whatever 412 code, whatever it's called. She's going to invoke the code. If we were to give her mom, she's going to invoke the code to keep her for 72 hours. Judge Rosenblum will permit it. He's crazy. He's satanic. He's evil. He's a warlock. And he's not going to get her. I can promise you that. He's not going to put a bullet to this brain. It's not going to happen. They can bribe even the Delaware authorities, and it'll never happen. I can promise you that. No different than how Michael won't answer the door for his restraining order. You know, I'm not answering the door. You know, just not answering the door. That's all. You ain't coming in with the cops and get out of here. She's not here. Not if you're on assignment for Satan. We have just become the Underground Railroad at that point. Right? For Georgia. You are Underground, UGR, Underground Railroad, UGRG, Underground Railroad, UGRFG, Underground Railroad for Georgia. Nicholas. We'll keep us safe and protected, like the wilderness protected the lady in Revelations 12. If the cops turn crooked and try to come for her, they're being possessed by the devil. This is my mother and our mother, the queen, the God's queen. Every mother is a queen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking away that from anybody else. You love your mother. And when you see the spirits of the rulers of darkness coming, you know, trying to get her, you're not going to let that happen. I saw this in a dream years ago. I think I wrote it down. Something was coming for me in a dream. I was in some town that wasn't familiar to me, that now looks a lot familiar because I've been to so many places now, Delaware and California. In a dream, I got away to a different state, and they got me to come back. You know how they did it? Uncoincidentally, they went after my brother. In a dream, they went after Robert. And even though I knew I was safe in a different state in that dream years ago, and the dangers and the people that was after me, very high people and spiritual too, I knew they couldn't touch me where I was. They goaded me. They tricked me. They tried to get me to come back like, we got your brother. And I said, they got Bobby. So within one thought, in a dream, you can be in point A and point B just like that. So within one thought, I was back in California or one of those states. With one thought. And I was in the back of a armored truck, armored pickup, one of those armored trucks that usually has money inside of it, but it was hollowed out. It had a seat in it. And my brother Robert was there. I came back to save him, to rescue him. Came back for my brother. I guess we had differences, but once I realized they took him, I was like, I gotta go back. And I went back. And I think it was California in the dream. I went back to him. And when I went back, the very high position there, it was like, it looked like an armored truck, but you could call it a paddy wagon if you want to. But it was inside of it was the agents that was working for this very high person. And the very high person was an old lady, like Pat Murphy. Old lady. She was really older than Pat Murphy. Much older. She looked like she was a gypsy also. I'm starting to hear that gypsy. Don't say the word gypsy no more. It's like a racist word all of a sudden. Oriental, the word Oriental and the word gypsy. You can't use them. Please. Get out of here. And then the dream. She was the one. She had powers. The witch had powers. The witch had powers. In the dream, I could feel it, like demonic powers emanating from it. Powers, like literally. I looked at Bobby. Get off my face, boy. I looked at Bobby in the dream, and she had taken him. His eyes were white. I'm talking about his eyeballs were white, like a blind person, but he could still see a little bit. And everybody sitting in the truck, their eyes were white. But they can walk around, they could see, but their eyes were white. Like blind, like they were blind or half blind or something. And they were under her spell. And I sat down next to her. She had some voodoo stuff in front of her. And I sat down in front of her. And began to sing a song. And the song was, what was the song? I remember the lyrics when I woke up. I wrote them down. I remember I recorded them. I recorded myself singing it when I woke up. I won't forget it. That was years ago, though. I began to sing this song. Something's gone. Something's gone. Not the thrill is gone. Some of my kids said the thrill is gone. That was not. It wasn't the thrill is gone. It was something is gone. The light. The light. The light has gone. The light has gone. Now I gotta remember the melody. But, oh, the light is gone. The light is gone. The light is gone. The light is gone. Oh, the light is gone. the light is gone. And like she had took me by the hands like she was going to try to put me under her spell. And I was like, the Holy Spirit was on me. It was like a radiating back and forth like it was a war. And she was like losing. As I was singing, I started singing like I was like singing in tongues. Like when I sing first, so I was speaking in tongues. I was singing. The light is gone. The light has gone. The light has gone. The light has gone. Singing, the light is gone. You put a spell on my family just to get me. The light is gone. I started singing. The light is gone. And every time I said the old part, like, oh, the light is gone. Every time I pulled from it, it's like pulling from my diaphragm. I could feel it in my sleep. Like I was pulling from my diaphragm, like I was really singing. And I would, in order to get the wind I needed, I would lean back like this. And I would pull it up. Oh, the light is gone. The light is gone. Louder. And every time the more louder I got, the more I forgot, the more it weakened her. It's like exposing the truth about the light being raised against by the darkness and actually losing, it seems, on the surface to the darkness. Those that represent the light, that have the light in them, looking like they're losing to the darkness, being blinded by the darkness, being hypnotized by the darkness. My own brother. And who is controlling it from behind the scenes? A witch. A voodoo practicing witch. And she was commanding like SWAT team type people, like government type people. But she wasn't dressed like them. She was dressed like an old-fashioned ancient witch. But she was their leader. You think that these type of people that dress the type of way and are involved in that is not behind government? It's not behind magistrates. It's not behind these people. Some of them are. When they take off their judge's robe, they go home and sacrifice an animal, maybe even a human. You know, you wouldn't put it past them. We can't be sleeping on these things and act like biblical things don't still exist. They do. They do. Your family members acting crazy, they betraying their mother, this and that, and they don't see no wrong with it. They think they're doing God a favor. And then, like Mary's saying here, like she's doing mom a favor against her own will. Like it's saying, tough love is what's good for you. I'm just doing what's right for you. You just don't know what's right for yourself. It's like saying you don't know what's right for yourself. You're not in the right mindset to know what's right for yourself, Mom. You know what that is? That's a spell. That's witchcraft. That's demonic. It's really demonic, satanic witchcraft. The person under the spell don't know it's a spell. Even if you tell them it's a spell, they might even deny it even harder. Because I'm saved, and I know I love the Lord. I know I love the Lord. Robert, Ida, I know I'm saved. Ida always chanting to me about the Holy Spirit. Yet while she got a knife in her mother's back and betrayed her to a temporary guardian, a CAC, a temporary guardian. And then they don't realize the power that lady has been given over Mom. They think that they have control. I just argued with Robert earlier. I told him, you think you got control? You don't have control. You just turned her over to somebody that's far beyond your power. And you're stupid for that. I told him, I said, I ain't called him stupid. I kind of called him stupid. Ask him to tell you. Betrayed your mother to get at your brother because you're telling everybody that I'm trying to take Mom from her, and you're reciting to me what you want for Mom, your will for Mom. You want her in Atlanta with you, or wherever you live, Jonesboro, Jonestown, wherever it is. You want her there with you. You want her to live and die there, like you said many years ago. You want that. And you're jealous because Mom said that right in front of him. I told Mom, hey, you can go to Georgia if you want. I'm not stopping you. I said, but I'm moving to Delaware. Right in front of Robert on the phone. And she said, well, I'm going wherever you go. You know, even though she would say like, even if she hadn't liked Delaware, what she does and what she did, But she felt the same way about California. First, she was like, California. Finally, when I started liking it for real, when Mary started really inviting us out and paying our way to convince us, I didn't know what I was walking into with her. It was a trap. Walking into Coopville, Not everybody's Coopville in California. I'm just saying, just maybe 2 or 3, related. Just 2 or 3. That's it. The other related ones are not kooks at all. They got a good head on their shoulders. Perhaps that's why they keep knocking heads with each other. Because some are straight mentally and the other ones are not. Minute Maid. I wonder why they call this Minute Maid. The way they spell it. It's not even made in 1 minute. It's not even M-A-D-E. Shut up! It's not even it's not even 1-8. It's not even M-A-D-E. It's M-A-I-D. Maid, like a maid. A Minute Maid. You ever seen a maid come in and clean the whole house in 1 minute? I never heard of it. But anyway, on to the thing.
I know, baby. I know. We all belong to Jesus.
At the end of the day, Mom, all your decisions about healthcare, heck, I am a nurse. My wife did not have a part in that. I don't understand that part. If something goes wrong.
Why all of a sudden do you want it now? Why do you want it over the last 20 years? Jealous competition. I'm not taking care of Mom to compete with nobody. That's unheard of. She wants to take care of her, and it's just for the competition, which doesn't last very long if she were to get what she wants. She changes her mind just like that. Who takes care of her health care? The healthcare people. Medicare, Medicaid, they pay for all that. I'm a nurse. You're not a nurse in every field of nursing. Stop. You don't work for Medicare and Medicaid. You don't have a primary doctor. I've had Ida call and down her primary doctor, Dr. Kathleen Tindall. You think this court, by the way, is going to call all these people to vouch for me in court that I'm not crazy like they said I am medicinally? Like Kathleen Tindall, like Dr. Gill, like my former social worker at IHSS that I used to work for him. I put his name down on the court paper. I said, call him. Call him. I worked for him for 9 years. Call him to court. Because if he testifies, he's going to say, no, nothing's wrong with Georgia health-wise. I mean, she gets better when she gets sick, and John has been taking care of her. And he's been doing a good job for 9 years. That's why we keep paying him. So I told him, call Cougin, call him. To reference in court. I'm still gonna tell him to call Cougin. Still. I put it on the file and send it up to the kiosk. Now, I don't work for ISIS no more, but I said, look, I put his name down, so he knows us for 9 years. 9 years. But healthcare, what's she talking about?
I respect all of your children's wishes. I don't understand why that's wrong. You want the best.
She don't respect all of her children's wishes. Because Mary convinced us to move to California. She didn't want Mom to be near none of the family out there. I was moving to get a change because I was tired of certain things in Georgia at the time. So that's why I moved. Not to get away from family per se. Maybe to get away from a couple of them that was getting on my nerves. But no, not to get away from all the family. I love all my nieces and nephews. I hugs and kisses. But that wasn't the reason. It was Mary's reason. And that's why she's putting it on me now to make it look like it was my fault. Why, when I got out there, was she trying to take Mom from me and isolate Mom from me? See how that works? I got you to get her away from the other family, but now I'm going to get her away from you. I want her all to myself. And no, I'm not moving back to Georgia, ever. But how's Robert going to trust Mary? Robert and I agreed to make Mary the head conservative because she lives in California. How's he going to trust her? I tried to bring this up to her. How are you going to trust Mary to move mom back there? Well, that's why you should do it. You shouldn't even trust me to do it because I keep telling you no. You know, Mary's promising you that she might do it. You know, she'll do it for you. How you know she does not going to change her mind? You ever think about that? Now, we got her to Delaware, closer to where everybody can come see her, right? They trying to bring her back to California. And they keep saying, that's not what we're doing. That is what they're doing. The court just clearly said, I'm granting ex parte. You can go pick her up and bring her to Pat Murphy across the state line. And you dumb, ignorant people, if you were to do that, Pat Murphy is not giving her back to you anytime soon because you're ignorant fools you are. Fools that you are. Robert, Ida, Mary. Fools that you are. For doing that and trusting that. I thought that Ida is so freaking educated, man. I'm not being facetious. I mean, real. She's probably the smartest one among us, probably. I've never seen anybody as smart as Ida. I mean, she's Robert, smart. Not as smart as Ida. Don't get jealous, bro. I'm saying, Ida's smarter than you. Smarter than me. Mary, Ida, close. But she's not smart on everything. Don't let me think that I'm telling you she's smart on everything, but I'm just giving her some comments. But I'm just saying, you would think that them being as smart as they are, really intelligent as they really are, that they would see through this, right through this scam that the court is pulling on them, that they let themselves get into. That is one of the repercussions for turning your mother over to them. You're so freaking blind that you can't even see the scams that are going on with the judge. I know he's an evil, demonic person because I faced off with him. I challenged him to move him. I know his court went dark, and he was dictating from the darkness on what he wanted to do, mix the cases together and this and that. We're going to get Georgia. No, you're not. You psychotic freaks. I tell that to every demon. Bunch of psychotic freaks with yellow spines that will never win, and that got their butts kicked in heaven. Read Revelation 12. Got kicked down out of heaven to earth, where they are weak here and so far beneath our feet, operating through these wicked judicial, crooked judicial, not on good judicial people, but crooked judicial people, which are ever judged in the scripture. Ever judged. Quiet. But anyway, he said, wow. He looks like Garfield. Ever, go on, Mary. What you saying?
So do you want to dismiss the case?
I want your children, Mom, all of us to work together for your good. That's what I want.
She's saying, I want all of us to work together for your good. She's been saying that for a while, and I agreed with her while we was in the hospital, and she started an argument. I said, that's the one thing I do agree with. I think we should come together and talk. Work it out. Our family try to work. I think we can fix us if we really try. That's not what they really want, though. She wanted power of attorney. That's why she argued with me about power of attorney right after we said those words. Mike came in. They was trying to get me angry and mad so I can argue and try to get me kicked out of the hospital, but I kept cool, you see. And when I get cool and I get into a defense mode, I sound like what they call cynical or sarcastic. Being sarcastic, cynical. facetious, and I'm right at the same time. I'm not always right. Just you think you're right about everything. No, I don't. You think that I think that I'm right about everything. I'm only right about the things that you're wrong about. Now, that would make me right about everything if that was the case. But no, I'm only right about the things that I'm right about. Stop! And I'm only right about that, you know. And when the argument, Mike got mad and just about jumped over Mom's bed. Both out some ball of it. Ever just about my wife that way. I stood up and looked him right in the eye. And I said to you, man, you need to leave. Oh, first, don't you touch my husband. Don't you touch my husband. He's 250 pounds. I'm about now 105 pounds. Yeah. Let him touch me. Let him touch me. Let him touch me. It's like they was trying to egg me on. Trying to use psychology. They wanted me to fight. They both did. They both did. Because it would have got me kicked out, and now I can't manage and take care of her no more. Mom in the hospital, and now they can dictate the way they wanted to dictate the things that I was blocking. See how that works? I didn't get them the benefit of the doubt. You know? She said I followed Mike out the hospital. Yeah, I did. I followed him in the hallway and said, let me talk to you, bro. What's going on? And he was like, trying to control himself. Turned around. I'm looking him right in the face. I said, come on, talk to me. You're not acting like yourself. Tell him, settle this, man. Settle this. Like two human beings that once I thought was good friends. No. He exploded for the first time and showed me his real self. Showed me the side of him that just blows up and ready to fight. He's dangerous to himself and he's dangerous to everybody around him. You blew up like that and you try to fight me over my mother's bed, our mother's bed. Mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, over her bed. You didn't say, like a man, you didn't say, let's take it outside. You wanted instead to fight over her bed. And 2 inches away from a sweet and beautiful pregnant woman, Mandy Feather. You wanted to risk all of that. Now, what if I would have been a mature person? I mean, not mature. What if I would have been an immature person, Mike, and I would have actually jumped on you, like, get away from me. You're stronger. We would have probably fell on Mom, or you would have fell back and you would have fell on pregnant Samantha. You didn't think that through, did you? But you thought for sure, I know John is not going to be strong enough to. You know that? Yeah, I came out in the hallway. He was like trying to, like he was trying to insinuate not to talk to him right now. You don't want to trust me. You don't want to talk to me right now. Not when I'm like this. Not when I'm like this type of thing. Meaning he can't control his temper when he gets mad. He has to walk away. Not just walk away calmly, no, walk away about to explode. He finally turned away and walked away. No more words. None. I told Mary, you need to leave. You need to leave the hospital too. Get out of here. Go. No. Came over to the house when she got out of the hospital. They tried to convince the court that they wrote it in there that I discharged her from the hospital because that lady Maria lied on me. Their friend Maria lied on me. Said I discharged Mom against their will. What the discharge papers say clearly, it doesn't indicate that I discharged her. It indicates that they discharged her. And they even gave her at-home service to take care of her. everything on the discharge papers except the first page, which is against me, within the test or the test results on the discharge papers reads that she never had it. She doesn't have epilepsy. It was 0. She doesn't have epilepsy or seizures. Proving them wrong again. Life-saving drug, huh? So she didn't take it. I didn't let them give it to her. And the test that they did here with the plungers came back negative. So I told the doctor, he said, so why didn't you let me give it a test? I said, why didn't you let me give her that medicine? But I said, she don't need it. I said, let me ask you a question, Doc. Did the test come back negative or positive? Oh, it was negative. So why are you asking me, why didn't I let you give her seizure medicine, you idiot? I ain't call me idiot, but I was like, why'd you ask me something like that? The test is saying that she's not having seizures. They did the MRI. That's saying that she's not having seizures either. You wanted to hook my mother. My mother. I say my mother because I'm talking to him and not nobody else. I hate when you say my mother and everybody else says, she belongs to us too. Oh, shut up. I'm saying my mother because I'm talking to that evil doctor right now. You hooked my mother and, okay, our mother up to try to hook her on a drug that she was going to have to take the rest of her life, and you were going to be getting paid the rest of your life from her insurance, you crook, you witch doctor. The other doctor, Saeed, why'd you try to get me in trouble? Why'd you release me? I said, because you're not doing right. I told you. Now she can swallow. She needs her medicine. I can't give her that. You need to check her osmolality to make sure you're not. I said, I counted how much fluid you're giving her, 4 liters a day. We drink on a normal, she's on a fluid restriction. We're not. And we drink 2 to 3 liters a day of fluids. 4 is pushing it. I added it up. We're giving her 4 liters altogether. Her antibiotics mixed with all of the IVs. So we're giving her 4 liters a day and pumping extra into her arms through the PICC line before it broke. They got mad at me for telling them stop using the PICC line. If you're going to be pumping that much into the PICC line, because you got to clean it out, then they said, well, the only thing we can do for you is pump it through her arm. And that's uncomfortable. You want me to do that? I said, that's the only choice you're leaving. Do it. Robert gonna call me, how dare you choose that? You want your mother to suffer? And you know what happened after that? The PICC line broke and Robert had nothing to say. The PICC line broke completely, so they had to go back to the other way of doing it and getting the professionals to come in to make sure they don't have to search and search and search. You know what Robert did? He was comfortable with that. Well, if it broke, that's different. You're an idiot. You're a straight idiot, dude. You're a straight idiot. So if I tell you they were over pumping that PICC line, so-called cleaning it out so there don't be no clots in it, when they proved to me that they did it a different way, they started doing it with 1 pump and cleaning it out instead of 4, and then trying to patch up 4 saline solutions in the middle of the night and try to, on top of that, put another round of blood pressure medicine in her. I seen what the lady was doing. Put blood pressure medicine. You're not doing every hour PICC line cleaning the way that you were doing it and deciding, well, we did use a lot of saline solutions, so let's give her some more blood pressure medicine. I had to stop them. You're giving her too much blood pressure medicine. Stop. Stop, you witches. You witches. You absolute witches. You know? Violating, giving Mary and Ida all kinds of information that they weren't supposed to have. You know, almost drowned mom in a bed. Ida and Noelle, the nurse, almost drowned mom in the bed. And when I told them you aspirated her, you were supposed to sit her up and drink, but Ida didn't try to show off. Drowned her. It's going to make an excuse. Oh, that means she's not ready to swallow yet. Her therapist just came in and gave her a pass on that and said she's ready. And I told her, you're going to sit here and say the therapist is lying just because you choked her? You don't, and I told him, and she's making faces back and forth with Noel trying to get him against me, and he's going right into it. And I blocked both of them. And I stopped both, and I said, "No, I'm stopping that right now." I told Ida, I told Noel, I said, "That's going to stop right now. It's going to stop." What you talking about? I said, "You know what I'm talking about, making faces at each other. What faces?" I said, "You supposed to be talking to me, Noel. I'm her power of attorney taking care of her here. You talk to me. You don't talk to her. You don't do nothing with her." "Oh, you don't know how power of attorney works." "I think that I do." "Yeah, I think that you don't. I'll prove it." "Okay, prove it." You know what happened? I went and complained on him. And I told him he needs to be removed. I said, "He just aspirated my mother. He needs to be removed." He choked her. Him and my sister. Remove him as her nurse. You know what she did? She got a snob attitude. Okay. They called the social worker who was on my side earlier against the elder doctor. Got and went to a private meeting in the office, and I watched them. They all attitudes went in there, came out with attitudes. I stopped her, the social worker. "Hey, what's going on? Why wasn't I in that meeting?" "You don't have to be in a private meeting that we're in." I said, "Oh, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I should have been in there if it was about what I was complaining about." She's going to say, "I don't have to tell you everything." Oh, no problem. Shook my hand to shake it. She walked right past, looked at me, walked right past me. Holy Spirit put in my heart, they're coming with security. I know. Well, I didn't know, but they revealed it. Coming with security. Yeah. That's familiar. I know that look. You know, I used to work security. I know that look. You know, I went in the room, prepared, called Vanessa, called Len, got them on the phone. They came in with security, about six of them. Trying to throw me out. "Well, we're going to have to ask you to leave because you denied too many minutes, and you didn't. I'm a power attorney. I have a right to do that. I'm protecting her bodily autonomy." I told them, "Read that power of attorney paper now. Read it." She said, "I don't have to do that." I said, "But you will describe to me exactly what medicines that you're talking about that I turned down, what life-saving medicines you're talking about." I'm going to tell you. I said, "Good tell me." And I said, "Look, I said, I respect everybody here." I said, "You know what?" I said, "Work security. So I know all about that." You know, I said, "When it comes down to the end, if I had to still leave here," I said, "I will get up and walk out." I said, "I promise you, you're going to court. I'm taking you to court, suing you. It's not over." And then the other lady came in trust and the other lady came, her boss and her boss. And Lena and Vanessa was on the phone, and they was breaking it down. And then Vanessa broke down some law stuff to her. And when she broke down some law stuff to her, before she did that, I told her, she said something about the doctor. I said, "Yeah, Dr. Saeed. Dr. Saeed." I said, "That's right." I said, "She was wrong." I said, "First of all, bring Noel back in here. Why is he not here?" I said, "He needs to be here. He's got something to say, right?" They brought him in. I said, now he's in here. He choked my mother. Him and my sister choked my mother. I said, they aspirated her. Why is he still here? Why is he still working on this floor? Trying to remove me. They're supposed to be removing him. I complained to remove him. They try to remove me instead. And leave him there to choke her again? I'm not going to have that. I told him. And this is Mary and Ida dictating through these people. Influencing them. They're friends. Lena told them some stuff. Vanessa told them some lawful stuff. When Vanessa got off the lawful things, she hurried up and picked up those power of attorney papers. Started reading through it. "Oh, let's recess outside. Took the security back and only came back with 1 or 2 security guards. Go on. "We'll let you stay if you do this, that, and that." Contrary to the power. I said, "No, I'm not doing that." I said, "Because you're contradicting what's in the power of attorney." I said, "I'm not. If you promise not to dictate to the doctors more what they can do and what they can't do." I said, "No, I'm not giving them that power. Can't do that." I said, "I don't agree with it, what you're saying." I said, "But I'll go along with it." for the reason of staying. Will you let us put the catheter in there? I said, I told you I never stopped them from doing that. That was a lie that they told you. And I told you that I told Dr. Saeed, give her medicine. Now that she can swallow, give her Bumix so she can get all that water out of her. We wanted to try the catheter to get it out because you're a bunch of freaking morons. I told her, I said, they said, the night nurse said they couldn't fit it. Right? You know what the night nurse told Mary and Ida? The night nurse, Mary said, anyway, the night nurse told her, they came in one night and they said, the night nurse told me that you denied her to put the catheter in. And I said, it's a lie. She's lying. I'm like, basically, what are you doing even talking to her? Why is she even telling you anything that's going on the floor like that and medical stuff? She's not supposed to be talking to me. She's supposed to be asking me about those things. Stop making friends with people and them telling you things. Mary was a liar the whole time, though. She was getting on me about not letting them put the catheter in her mom, but you know what? When they were trying to do it, Mary, I texted, Leonard was on the phone, but I texted Mary. I texted her. I questioned her. Leonard was even because Leonard was on the phone. He said, Leonard said, John, just let him do it. I said, I'm not trying not to let him do it. I'm just trying to tell them there's more side effects with this. That's why other hospitals stopped using it and started using the PureWick. I think it's called PureWick type catheter. Doesn't go all the way up in there, right? But then I said, I told her, yeah, you can do it. I said, but I went along with it. And then Mary later on was like, oh, they told me that you didn't let her do it. That's what the night nurse told me. What a liar she is. She don't sit up there and lie to me. She was on I texted her when they was trying to put it in, Mom. And Mom was saying, oh, what are you doing? Stop. I don't want that. They tried for a long time. They got another nurse that looked like our primary come in and try to help them. She thought that they figured it out because she said, well, just do this, that, and that, and you'll get it. They said, oh, we didn't know. They start trying again. She was, I don't like it, and they had the bed. I know the bed. I know bed's incline. I didn't know they decline like this. They're on a decline, so her head was down where Mom gets vertigo when she's like that. So do I. And I text Mary when I couldn't take it no more. Y'all know me. I was about to burst in and stop. but I text Mary to Mary. I said, this is what happened. They're trying to get it in. They can't get it in. She's crying. She don't want it. She don't want it. I still got the text message to reveal Mary's lie. She said, she texted me back, tell them to stop. Don't give it to her. Don't put it in her. That's what her text message said. And before I can do anything, they stopped on their own. We can't put it in. Somebody will be here tomorrow that maybe we'll be able to do it. Oh, okay. Mary Ida came the next night. They told us that you didn't want to do it. That you didn't let them do it. Are you dumb in the head? You knew that they were doing it because I texted you. You told me to tell them not to do it. She was trying to build anything because I took their names off the emergency board as emergency and put Lena and Vanessa up there, and they got jealous. They got jealous and angry. I see what he did. Right in front of me, they were saying it loud. I see what he did. Don't worry about it, child. Don't worry about it. That's nothing but the devil. Nothing but the devil. The devil. Because I took you two maniacs off of the emergency call board and put two mature people up there, Lena and Vanessa. They try to be slick and put all of our names up there like we're all equals. No, get out of here. And they ain't calling anybody. And really in the hospital, you're only supposed to have one emergency person. Right? They put everybody up. Come on. My idea to have two emergency contacts, just because you can't get in touch with one, you can get in touch with the other one. And quiet. And so he's over there singing. And so, yeah, that's what They was harassing at the hospital the whole time and making up lies, making me out to be a villain. Called the APS lady. She came out. How you doing? Is this Georgia Nickel? Yeah, it's Georgia Nickel. Oh, APS. I said, oh, I see. I said, oh, I'm sorry about this. I said, you just got invited into the middle of a family war. I said, you're going to find, I told the APS lady that, I said, you're going to find out. I take care of her. I'm not harming her. I never did anything wrong to her. Yes, and I did turn down some medicines that she did not need to have. And I told her what happened with the doctor, and I told her what happened, how they stood me and her mom up at the wedding. And they keep denying it, trying to put it back on me. You was late, like Richard was saying, you was late. Robert said, you was late. I got there an hour and a half early, and I got all the text messages still to prove it. Of them texting me back even, and telling me what instructions to do. Wedding was 6 minutes across the street. They were supposed to get mom and get her dressed for the wedding. Robert came down in the same stratosphere and walked through the lobby and decided to leave a strand in there to teach me a lesson, to teach mom directly a lesson. Don't let John hog you, and John, don't hog mom. You see, that's exactly what they brought to court after that, a month after that. He's trying to take and hog mom to himself. Yeah. That was 2 days before the pneumonia and sepsis took root on her. After all that walking through their lobbies and all that trying to struggle to get up to the room and all that long haul, 1 block walking for her, and they wanted her to do it again. Gonna make it on time. We really want you here. Liars. Liars. At that point, I was like, we're going back to Lancaster. Quiet. That's his water bowl. I thought he was going to run if he heard it. He didn't even run. Better not be having no baby over there. But, stranded us. Broke mom's heart. She even mentioned it when mom was in the hospital and she was waking up saying sporadic things from her sleep. Fix the curtain, close the curtain. I understood what she meant because she says things like that at home. They thought she was talking out of her weirdness. No, out of sickness. And she impressed them at the hospital. She woke up. She told the nurse, she said, I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. I didn't get to go to my daughter's wedding. You think they looked at me and said, look what you did? No, because they knew it wasn't my fault. I looked at them. I cut my eye at them like dirty bums. And they just looked at each other like, that's what they did. Mary and Ida. They were shocked that she said it. Wasn't even mad at me about it. They knew it was their own fault. That they stranded her. And then they stranded her and they jeopardized her health by her having to walk through a smoke-filled stratosphere, up and down. No wheelchair accommodation supplied for by Mike and Mary. None. Richard gonna get mad at me because I told him, how dare you sit up there when I text you and you text me back saying, watch out because they're walking. But I'll be down as I finish getting dressed. Aaron's in the shower. An hour and a half to an hour and 20 minutes. That's when I text him. Really. He came downstairs. Down. He keeps saying this is delusional because he knows he's a freaking liar. He came downstairs, him and Aaron came downstairs an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 15 minutes later. And we're still in the lobby. No room in the inn. Like for Jesus, no room in the inn? None. They gave it to us. We got it, but we got it too late. Richard and Aaron said, oh, good to see you. And you know what? Good to see you guys. And oh yeah, by the way, the wedding started in 5 minutes. We're almost going to be late too. But hurry up. Make sure you get there in time. Richard later said that I was delusional and said that I was a narcissist for blaming them. They turned their back. Richard turned his back and walked away, giving us 5 minutes to get upstairs, way across the lobby, up the steps. He had a whole hour. A whole hour. It's almost like, at first I didn't blame him directly. And then later on, when he started acting crazy and calling me like a semi-murderer, like he said I was going to let mom just have a seizure. I was going to let mom have a stroke or whatever and not call an ambulance at all because I wasn't calling as fast as he wanted while I was checking the vitals. After that point, I was thinking he probably was working for Mary. He probably did do it on purpose. No. After all the loyalty I showed this man, and mom showed him, he stuck us in the back for his mother. You want to side with your mother against somebody, fine. But if she's wrong and hurting people and attacking people, you might not want to take her side on that. That's not justice. It's not. That's just insanity. He took and walked away. He said, come on. My mom's getting married to my new stepfather. To be. Now he's telling me I got the mental problem. Are you kidding me? So anyway, they stood us up in the lobby, trying to teach us a lesson. And by the time halfway through that hour, I knew what they were doing because they've done it before in the past. And I knew it, so they're teaching because the night before, they wanted me to bring mom and drop her off so they can hang out with her and put her at the blackjack table or something. And I refused to do it. I said, no, I'm not doing that. And they put it in the category of, see, the three of them put it in the category, see, he's hogging mom. There's something we got to do to stop him from controlling mom. We want to spend time with her. In Vegas, at a blackjack table, gambling her money away and maybe giving her some money to get. No. I told Mary, I said, no. Friday night, I'm making mom a whole full-course dinner. Tomorrow, we'll meet at the restaurant of your choice, which is the most expensive restaurant, Carrabba's. That night, I ordered mom's Carrabba meal the night before. So it'll be ready by the time we get there tomorrow afternoon. We got there 3-hour drive on our bill. Got there an hour and a half early. I already knew at that point, Ida and them, they think that I'm going to be late. And they're going to use that as an excuse why I missed the wedding. I told Mary. I told her, no. The night before, she said, what about, we got to practice walking up the aisle together. I said, I'll get there enough time for me and you to do a practice one, me walking you up the aisle to give you away. At that point, when Mary could not get me to bring mom, she punished me. She decided to punish me. She don't want me to walk her up the aisle no more. Robert came because Robert changed his mind about walking up the aisle, the two of us. He was going to surprise her. He's a liar. He knows. He even lied about when I called him on that. He said, no, there was still a surprise. They didn't know. You're a liar. And then he came to walk up the aisle, so I wouldn't walk up the aisle. So when I didn't give them what they wanted, give them mom to hang out in Vegas with, she decided, I don't want them to walk up the aisle no more. But they did it their own nasty, sneaky way. You know? And sure enough, they had their fun. They didn't even look disappointed. Look at the pictures of them in the wedding, walking up the aisle. Robert kissing Mike on the head. Does any of them look disappointed that mom didn't make the wedding? No. They're not putting on. They didn't care. Right off the bat, Mary had a lot of LGBT friends there, which are some of my friends from the past. I worked with lesbian people and stuff like that. Really good friends with them. Some of them like me, some of them don't. They don't like my belief system. If you don't like Romans 1, it's not my problem. Don't blame yourself for not liking what God has to say. But anyway, Mary was scared that mom, because mom she speaks her mind. Sometimes she speaks things off the cuff. You like, she said that. That's what she was scared of. She thought that mom was going to say something to insult one of her gay or lesbian friends, and it was going to embarrass her. She thought. That's why she wasn't so eager to get mom to her wedding. No, not so eager. That's it's not one of the main reasons. The main reason was to teach us both a lesson. Stop being so compatible with each other as mother and son, and let us in on that. Let us in on that relationship that you have with each other, that closeness. Since you won't let us in on that closeness, we'll teach you a lesson. I'm walking through the Vegas, through the stratosphere, and I'm pissed. I'm like, I know this is their lesson. I know this is one of their lessons. I said, you know what? I'm going back. 3 hours there, tired. We left at 6 in the morning. We're going 3 hours back. Why don't you keep the room and come gamble with us later? And we could take the whole table, all of us, me, you, mom, all of us. There's no way we can lose. Nah, never mind. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Mom had her boots on under her clothes, wedding clothes. Ida gonna look at me coming up to the restaurant. John, why she got the boots on her with this? Don't look right. I'm looking at her like, you serious, you dumbhead? I ain't call her dumbhead, but I'm looking at her, you stupid. Why you so stupid? Y'all made her miss the wedding, and then you're gonna complain after we show up to Carrabba's, complain that she got her boots on rather than her wedding shoes? What's the point now? We're just going to the restaurant. What is the point? No, I didn't let her put her shoe back on because she was tired of walking. Because y'all never showed up at that lobby to help her. Idiot. Freaking idiot. We're gonna. So we get home. We get home, and I went on Facebook and I spread a I put on Facebook a zombie wedding because they was posting weddings to make mom look happy on there. It's pictures that we took at the restaurant. Make it look like she was so happy. And did a video audio at the table. Recorded mom singing Christian songs, old church hymns. Ida and Robert got jealous. I was at the table because one of Mary's friends came over. Young lady. Mom didn't know she was single or married, but she introduced her to me. This is my son, John. I was sitting on the other side of the round table. Nice to meet you. And that's it. She introduced nobody else. They took it the wrong way. I seen Ida look at Robert like, you seen that? And she even said, like she don't have another son. And Robert looked at her like, I see it. And I literally looked at them, and they was open about it. And I looked at Mom, I said, about Robert. To try to give him that. He took it an offense like, you didn't need to do that for me. Yes, I did. Why? Because you took an offense at your own mother forgetting to introduce you to a young lady. The young lady was married. She had a husband. I told Robert that Mom didn't know she was married. So I think that if Mom knew she was married and her husband came over to the table with her, I think Mom would have introduced the both of them to me alone. And not because she's mad at you for standing her up at that wedding, I think, but because that's the rapport me and Mom have. She spends so much time around me and me around her that sometimes, settings and a tradition like that at her age, she might forget to introduce somebody else. Robert's not always around her all the time. Even when we was living in Georgia, he wasn't always around all the time. When he did come to visit us in Georgia, he would stay for about 5 minutes and go to see Teen and Mimi, or see them first and then come stay with them for 5 minutes, This guy, one time, Bobby came to get me to take me to his house. I don't know where Mom was. She was with somebody else. I think she was away at the wedding or something like that. But out of town. That's when she was more healthier. She could travel now. And I was by myself. Rob came to get me and take me to his house, to Atlanta. Spend time, brother. You know, I should have seen his personality back then, but I refused to. I should have seen it. We was at the gas station. The guy gets the gas. We went in, and I saw my best friend, buddy, and brother, George Donald. Hey, bro, what's up? We used to work together. You know, we've been through hard times together. We fought wars against corporate people and bring them down. And, brothers in the struggle, I go to introduce him to my brother. I want my brother about to go to land his house. I said, hey, Rob, this is my best friend, George. And said, you know what Rob did? He looked at him, did not say hello, blew him off, walked out the door. Like he was not even standing there, like it didn't even matter. Oh, that pissed me off. I was like, but I couldn't stay pissed off because, I'm like, okay, my brothers came to pick me up, we're going to spend time. I'm going to let that go. And let's see what else happens along the way. What else happens? Whatever. What else am I going to glean about this guy's personality? Apparently, he thought he was better than George, So it's like, wow, that's crazy, man. I was like, he treated George, like my friend George, like that. But yeah, everybody he introduced me to, Edward, I think his name Edward Kavanaugh, man. Beautiful guy, man. Awesome. Who else did he introduce me to his friends? You know what I did? I shook their hand, gave them a hug, whatever, and we got along. Like, wow. Why couldn't he show my friend that respect? Why not? Because he's uppity. Robert, you're uppity. You're snob. You're snob. You're uppity snob. And you disrespected my brother and friend. I never disrespected any of your friends like that. Never. Never. I've taken many of your older friends from back in the day, and they're like older, like an older brother to me. I love them. I love them like they're my real brothers. We don't talk a lot of this, But I never. Wow, why would you do that? My friends are so far beneath you, you can't even stand right there. You can't say, oh, nice to meet you. I want to shake his hand and say hello. Oh, we're in a hurry. We got to go. Got time. That's what he did. Like he treated like there's no time to fool around. So my friends and my life is nothing more than a fool around to him. So much important his life is than mine. Stop. Invited me the other day. I'll invite you again to bring mom here to Georgia. Stay with me for a while and this and that. I wouldn't trust you to stay with you. Or she could put me in the street. You think this power of attorney that I have would let you do that? Anywhere I go, she's going with me. You understand? It's in writing. Stamped. There's no way you can get around it. So basically, I told him, I said, you know that we'll be arguing within a day, and you will put me in your slave quarters out back as a way of hacking in and trying to get mom away from me, away from each other. Gigolo. You gigolo. Jealousy is our name, Art Bobby. Listen to some more jealousy.
Okay. It happens. That'll be a great thing. Then when we get to court, Mom, we can ask all your children to say that we all agree.
Then when we get to court, Mom, we can say that your children all agree. That's not what the court is all about. That's not what the court is trying to get at. It's not. And they're dumb in the head and don't realize that they were manipulating and using the court and lying to the court to get what they want. And the court is doing it. The magistrate is wicked and evil and dark. And it's doing the same thing back to them and trying to take their mother as a prisoner. And they're trying to hand her over, thinking the court is going to give her to them in a few days or whatever. Idiots. Direct idiots. They really think the court's going to let her make a move straight into Mary's house. I told you there's a restraining order against that house. They're trying to defy that. You know?
And the judge will have nothing more to say. And we all can.
See, they all speak for the judge. The judge will have nothing more. The judge will. The judge will. The judge will. What type of relationship you got with that judge that you can know what he's going to say and do? He's a manipulator and a liar and a crook and a man-stealer. The Bible calls him man-stealer. He's a kidnapper. Judge Rosenblum, Judge Clay, Commissioner Priver, Pat Murphy, Tanya Hall, they are men stealers. Biblically, they're biblical men stealers. Human traffickers for money. Traffickers always get paid money. For money. They traffic elderly people, take away their freedom, take away their voice, take away their due process and their right to speak by giving them a CAC, a CAC, a court-appointed counselor, a temporary guardian that dictates for them and can shut them down and tell them, shut up, I'm in charge of you. Pat Murphy has that authority. I'm not letting her have it, though. Not. It's not going to happen. We, not just me, but we, her family that are against Mary Iden Robert, are not going to let Pat walk in and take her and try to get the family to do it for them. Idiots. Demonic, satanic idiots. Yeah, take this to the judge. He ain't no judge. He's being judged. You ever read Psalms 82? You ever read the book of Deuteronomy? He's being judged. You ever read the book of Jeremiah? He's being judged. Because he's not a faithful judge. He's not a real judge. He's a crook, a scam artist, along with those other two judges and attorneys that I mentioned. There's probably another few that work in there too that we don't know. Look, are you having a baby or something? You pregnant? Okay.
Raise your children and come together like we should. Be the kids that you raised us to be. When we get to court, we can say that.
Be the kids that you raised us to be. So the kid that mom raised you to be is one that betrays her and sells her out to a temporary guardian that has more power over her, the court thinks, than you know. Then you know. I seen that lady took that boy in an earlier court case. The lady took that boy and made the mother think the boy didn't want to see her. I don't go around shooting people in the head, but I'm gonna say that lady, that attorney, was pretending like he's a judge. And the way that boy said that, and then she went right back to normal, just like that. She had the mother in tears, like, I respect it. And by this time, the mother's only being nice because she don't want to lose the kid forever. Because she's lost control so far. She don't know what to do. The bullies have kidnapped her little boy, her 8-year-old. She don't know what to do to get him back. Supernatural powers of God maybe help you out. Otherwise, the only earthly way to get him back is to lose your life. Go in and shoot the two of them in the head and take them. You know, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying, look, I said that's the only earthly way to put those idiots down. They want to act like animals, put them down like animals. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling anyone to do that. I'm just saying, look, that's the vibe that they put off. They act like they want to get put down like wild animals. The judge and that lady, that attorney, I don't know what her name was, brown hair, old, like Pat Murphy. It's that old spirit, that old ancient witchcraft, witch spirit of the witch, you know. But overall, from a holistic or born again perspective, pray for God to avenge you against those that have taken away your children. They're trying to take away our mother. So if you ever see this video, if she ever come across it, nonviolence is the way. And I'm not talking about Gandhi or Martin Luther King, those two devils. No, I'm talking about those two imposters. No, I'm talking about real nonviolence. I'm talking about, not mixed with Hindu stuff. Not mixed with the Hindu witchcraft. Mary, quite contrary.
We are harmonious, and we have agreed to put it back to our mom because we're listening to our mom.
Right.
But mom, I think that has to be a conversation. I've been saying this since she was in the hospital, since she came out of the hospital. We should talk, y'all. We should talk. Nobody wants to talk.
She's right and she's wrong. Because the first time at the hospital, I agreed with her, and then Mike jumped right in my face after that. Because she switched the conversation from getting that talk, like she said, right to, you don't know what power of attorney is. You don't know what it is. She came right for the power of attorney. She wants control. And I talked to her in my cynical and maybe sarcastic and snarky way. And Mike didn't like it. He's like, let's fight. Mikey, silly bitty little Mikey. Contrite heart. Yeah. Poor soul. But anyway, we progress. She said that, and she's talking about what she's talking to me about in the hospital just before Mike jumped in my face. I agreed with her on that. I found out later she didn't really mean it though. Because I told her straight up, Robert said, we're past that point. He just wants to go to court. And so she went with the court instead of the family meeting. Now she's trying to get a family meeting through the court, and so-called, and Pat Murphy kept telling me, trying to con me to get mom in the interviews to get to trying to con me. Talking about, I see that your family's struggling. I really want to help your family. I'm just here to help you mend your family together. Yeah. Good luck with that. The only lady that said that and really meant it was the APS lady. That they sicked on me at the hospital. Sick people in the hospital. Y'all get it? That they sicked on me in the hospital. She done a really nice lady. When she left and mom was asleep, when mom woke up, I did a slight video of her talking. She said, my son, I'll be around with him. She was awake, but she was like groggy. Texted to that APS lady. Gave her number to Vanessa and Leonard. And Leonard and Vanessa will call, have a message for her. Didn't hear from her in months. Coincidentally, she called me the very day that Pat Murphy came over for the first time. What's the coincidence on that? I don't know how that happened, but it happened. But the next conversation I had with her, I was at the court filing some things. I just got through going off on Pat Murphy about something, long text messages we kept texting to each other. And I told her, she called me, the APS lady, and I talked to her. And I said, they said on a court report that you and the hospital people are working together to come after me and my mother. Is that true? She said, no, it's not true. She said, matter of fact, I gave your mother a clean bill of health. I gave your mother a clean pass. She said, she looks like she's happy where she is, with me. She said, there's nothing to report there. There's nothing. She said, but it does look like maybe you and Mary need to negotiate some things. She said, that's just my opinion. She said, maybe y'all need to come together and negotiate some things. Work some things out. She didn't say what we need to work out. She said, I think you need to work some things out with Mary. You and Mary need to work some things out, that's what she said. But other than that, no. And I told her, I said, I read back some of the things they said about her on that thing that Mary and them said. She said, no, they're lying, basically. She said, they're lying. That's not true. And it turned out to not be true. They lied on the APS lady. To the judges and stuff, told them, she's working together in cahoots with the hospital staff to get some type of lawsuit or something against me. Okay, do it. But that's not probate court. That's some other court. Criminal law, criminal court maybe. Take it to that one. Get a different attorney for it. What's stopping you? Why are you trying to put that through the probate court for? In the meantime, you put your mother in the danger of being under some temporary guardian that can take full effect on her if you bring her there. Man, let me tell you something. I'll defend my mother against anybody. I don't hit ladies. But if that lady ever tried to take my mother by force with her hands on her, that's the one lady that's getting cold cocked. I promise you. That witch is going out for the count. She's going to be, I'm melting. I would throw a whole bucket of water on her. No. What is you doing? I'm melting. Because you're stupid. Touch my mother again. See what happens. Look, she was touching Mom the first time when she got me into an argument with her. When she first came over 2 days for a court hearing, didn't give us any time to prepare whatsoever. She took away our due process. She wasn't even going to really be there interviewing because she came too late, you know. And then when I started arguing back and forth with her, she was grabbing Mom's hand. You're upsetting her. Is she upsetting you? Rubbing her hand. If I had any sense in my head, I would have been like, it's against the law to put your hands on my mother. Get out of here, you sicko. I just told her, I said, this is God's house. I said, you will respect it. I said, the judge in the court don't rule here. Yahweh does. Go back and tell him. You're not higher than Yahweh. Your kind have always imprisoned and murdered our kind. I'm talking about your wicked rulerships have always murdered and imprisoned our ministers. The ministers in our tribe of Judah. The prophets, you put them in jail, you murdered them. Always have you done that. I might be ready for mine.
We just talk, guys. Everybody's gonna be yelling. Well, if everybody's gonna be yelling, let everybody get it off their chest, and then let's talk. Nobody needs to insult anybody. We need to just talk it out and just work together.
I gave them the opportunity to avoid even the yelling with a family meeting. I told Robert when he was in the hospital, when he's threatening different things, I said, the meeting, I said, yeah, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, let's do a meeting, family meeting. And I said, I want Mike there. He obviously got things to get off his chest. He wanted to jump in my face and fight. I need him there on his own video kiosk. And I said, you know what? Also, this is what I need. I need all of you to but remember what it is that you all want to talk to me about. Because without Leonard and Dee there, it becomes an intervention now. They're going to come at me, all of them, because they're in disagreement with me. They all agree to something against me, as it relates to Mom. So I told Robert, I said, we had this meeting. This is what I need you to do. I'm going to get a piece of paper, I said, in a notebook, and I'm going to talk to each of you one at a time, and I'm going to take down what's your complaint against me? What's your complaint against me? What's your complaint against me? I'll write it down, and then I can discuss it to you and tell you why you're ignorant and wrong for believing that way. Yep.
Let's do that. I just don't understand. Everybody's mad at everybody. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm one of them.
See, I changed the subject. Everybody's about family, cutting together, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's about you. It's about you and your two siblings putting your mother in court, putting your mother under the authority of a guardian against her will by lying to the court and saying that, giving them a reason anyway through lying, saying that she's mentally incapacitated. I read it. I'll show it to you if I can find it. She's mentally incapacitated. She don't know. She just had pneumonia. So she needs help from the court. Please, Your Honor, get her out of there. She's in danger. That's where all that came from. It's not about, family is not getting along. The reason why our families is having arguments over this court thing is because you created a court thing. Get rid of the court thing, and the arguments will cease. You understand?
They read this one, that one, all for the same hole, because they love Georgia Nicholas.
Okay.
And I can't be mad at nobody for that.
Oh,
But anyway, Mom,
I
tell
have.
you the truth, I know you will. And they'll listen to you. But all I want is to say hi to my mom.
Basically, she's telling Mom, tell your truth, and they'll listen to you. I know you will. I know they will. She's telling her, no, I'm not dropping the case. Tell it to the judge. Come to court, tell me the truth, and they'll listen. I know you will. I know they will. They'll listen, but will they honor her? Will they give her what she wants? No, they will not. And just like it's fruit, the other day, that video showed that she said what she wanted, and they denied it. First, they tried to use the word psychology on her. You want to drop John's case? Because the judge is bitter at me. That's why he's being cynical, snide, smirking too. I'm going off of him. He's smirking instead of saying, I hold you in contempt. He's smirking like he's enjoying it, like got you. You got nothing, pimp. You're going to jail. Judge Rosenblum, you're going to jail. I don't know when. I don't know if it's this year or next year or the year after, but you're going to jail. You keep doing what you're doing. You're going to jail for a very long time. They're going to lock you up. Look at that bailiff. Look at that bailiff right next to you. One of these days, your bailiff is going to be putting you in handcuffs, taking you away. Yep. What happened? She had her day in court. Mommy, she said what she wanted to say, and they blew her off. And Mary just said, if you just say what you need to say, they'll give you what you want. What a gullible person. Did they give her what she wanted, Mary? No, they didn't.
Okay.
That's all I Mom. And if my mom gets sick, I want to be able to speak it. Some things I might know, some things John might know, some things Lennon might know, some things.
Trying to spread it out. That's not how it was when we was at the hospital. They were trying to take over and make it about what they wanted. First they said to Sean to me, John, ask them to do this. No. That didn't work. They moved right on to Ida taking over immediately. She took over in the ER. She took over upstairs. She spread lies on me that I was refusing to give Mommy the antibiotics. Please. That's a witch right there. It's a witch. Ida, you act like a witch. Well, it's me. John, it's me. It's me. I'm just that passionate about our mother. No, your passion is no different than rage. No different than rage. Your passion keeps leading you to do things that are irrational in your line of business. I wonder how many of your patients have you killed already without even realizing it. When you left to go somewhere else, they died right afterwards because of you.
Okay. We can't go wrong, but I just can't get people to get together.
I know.
Get together.
Well,
Without fighting.
I'm happy where I am right now,
I know you are, Mom.
and I'm not coming back to Cali.
It's all right, Mom. You don't have to tell me that, because they already told me. When you were in California, you was happy in California. And when Jonathan was moving to Delaware, you said, I don't want to move to Delaware, but you changed your mind. It's okay. It's okay if you change your mind. I just don't.
She also said when we was moving to, when you was trying to convince her to move to California, I ain't moved to California. She said that multiple times. I'm going to count it. Let's say she probably said about in those couple of years that that you were trying to get us both to come there, and then the year that it took us to convince her, she kept saying, I don't want to move to Cali. 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 But you convinced her to do it, didn't you? Well, you got me to go back to Dubai. Just me deciding I'm moving to Cali and I'm going.
I don't like underhanded business.
I know that.
Don't.
She don't like underhanded business. Her judge is underhanded. Her attorney's underhanded. Her other attorney, Pat Murphy's underhanded. She's underhanded. By extension of allowing underhanded people to support her and to lie and to take her mother in private and get into her head. She don't mind. Mary don't mind Pat Murphy interviewing mom in private because she knows, because I told her, Pat is trying to get mom to say exactly what you said to Pat that you want. She's trying to get in mom's head to make mom say what it is that Mary wants. Now, I heard it. So, but Mary need to be careful. Mary, you need to be careful because Pat is something else. She's got a stake in this, And she's a vampire.
Well,
Don't force people to do things. Don't force people to get restraining orders. Don't force people to do bad things.
Don't force people to do things. Now in court, they're forcing mom to go back with Mary, and Mary should be the one to come pick her up. They gave her an order to come, her or Ida or Robert to come pick up mom and take her back to Pat Murphy. I told little Rob, you come here, you're going away in handcuffs. Bottom line, Mary too, handcuffs. Robert, Ida, handcuffs. Don't force people to do things. She need to preach this sermon to herself.
well,
If you got a good, if Christ lives in you, don't lie. People shouldn't lie. It's not right.
People shouldn't lie. It's not right. I told on my birthday, Mary called me and I didn't want to talk, so I didn't call, but I called her back. And when no drama, she said, I don't want to ruin your birthday for you. Happy birthday, by the way, but this, that, and the other about the court and this and that and the other. So we got into a battle at the court. No. And she just said, don't lie, right? Yet, everything, all the lies they wrote about me, and then I addressed that with her. But you got to prove it. You got to prove it's not true. That's what I said, no, I don't. I said, the brother, you one who made up all the lies about me. The burden of proof is on you.
I don't want to. Let me think about this thing here. This is a big thing. I don't want to come to court. I just want to dismiss it.
Okay, well, those children, all the children, all safe children, and have a conversation. Maybe that's the best idea.
No, the best idea is she just told you she don't want to come to court. I just want to dismiss. You are the head petitioner in that. Okay, Mom, I'll do that for you. No, you know what she says? Well, we just get all the children together and blah, 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 blah.
It all fit
The kids, the talk.
get all the kids together.
Think so. Maybe that's the best thing.
The best thing.
I think the only thing, Mom, too, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, God willing, we all do okay. But in the event you're not feeling well, I think my voice should be heard just like anybody else's voice should be heard. And I'm not trying to overtalk anybody, overrule nobody.
Her voice, they're not trying to get their voices heard when Mom's not feeling well. They're trying to practice medicine on her. They're trying to practice procedures on her. Have those choices. They're trying to offer it to the workers that are at that hospital that they don't work at, that she's in, to dictate to those nurses what they want done to her, their mother, while she's in there. I told you, if you thought I was lying about the way they dictate, listen to what she's saying. The way Ida dictates, it's just like those doctors say, you're going to die if you leave here. Sign this thing. So just in case you die, you can't blame us. Can't sue me. How can I sue you if I'm dead? What a moron. But anyway, we progress. I'll show you just the personality of her and Ida. Yeah. That's what they do. That's what they do. They control They really want control there. You know, at the end of the day, like she keeps saying,
Well, I think it's a family thing. You have 6 children. And I don't want to be the one out there trying to make every decision. No.
lies. So no, yeah, I want to team up with Ida again and try to make the decision to put that nasty old swab up your nose that took your smelling away. Or, you know, get you vaccinated against your will when you told me you don't want to be vaccinated. And I try to get you to do it anyway. That's what she talked about. And other things. Treat you with the medicines I think you should have when you need certain medicines in the hospital. Bunch of mad scientists practicing laboratory, injecting their whole laboratory into people.
I just think we should be a joint decision, and the family should just work together.
Yeah, I think the family should work together.
She's saying as it concerns an old lady about to die. That's what she means.
In the name of our Father God, you know.
If Mom if a chariot came down from heaven right now and said, "Come on, Georgia, John, you stay here for now," and takes her up in the chariot, even if Mary and them were to see that statement about come together and work together would no longer, in their minds, it would not happen because that's not what they really want. So what they mean is work together till you die, up until you die. You know, making the hospital decisions like that.
Jesus' name.
Yeah, and without God, it would not be a Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, baby.
I know. But there's always 2 sides to a story, maybe 3.
4, 5.
4, 5. I know you start doing things that's not right, it ain't gonna work out right. So anyway,
God will work it out himself.
He'll work it out. He'll work it out.
Yes, he will.
So you'll tell both, whoever.
Yes, baby.
I just want to get to spend time with my mom. Hopefully it'll happen. But hey, I don't know.
We don't know.
Goodbye to you, lady.
But we
Well, yeah, drop the case then if you want to spend time with her. You know, it's making it awkward. Like she told me on my birthday, I don't want to see like I'm being a phony if we come over at this point. I said, no, you won't be a phony. Just be yourself. And we'll try not to argue. You know? She did. She came over Mother's Day. You know?
we don't know what God has planned, but God always wants peace.
Yeah. He's always on time. He's always right on time.
And he knows just what to do
Yeah.
to get that peace.
The only thing is, Mom, everybody should be at every child of yours, all of us, I believe it, is looking out for your good in our own way.
Every child of yours, I believe, is looking out for your good, Mom, in our own way. In other words, tough love. You don't want to come back to California. Tough love. You don't want to do this. Tough love. Tough love speaks on this wise for them. We're going to get Mom and to do what we want her to do. We're going to get the court to give us that, to make Mom do what we want her to do. That's why we got a temporary guardian over her that, if she wants to, can pull rank on Mom, but she's being unobvious about it. Pull rank on her and say, and I put my foot down, Georgia, I can't let you do that. Like I'm your parent now, because your kids gave me that. They signed you away. Well, I got some news for you. They don't have any authority to sign her away by signing court paper, sign her away to a legal guardian that's not related. You know why? Because she don't have no custody. Nobody has any custody over her. And nobody's conservative of her. She has a POA, an advance directive, that stands in your way to let you know you have no authority to take and make Georgia Nicholas your conservatee or make yourself her guardian or have the court make you her guardian against her will about stemming from something that she don't even know, you know, or remember or whatever. Yeah.
That's right. Look out for my heart, but you got a voice, you can speak. That's right. And
Oxymoron. Which I'm the referee, but you got a voice, you can speak, right? And she does. She speaks in court. But you just said that you will not give her basically what she really wants, right?
I'm going to. And I know you will. I told you that already. Stick with your truth. Whatever your truth is, you tell it. Yeah. Well, you know.
That's saying, like she said, I don't want to come to court. Well, now she's saying, well, whatever your truth is, you tell it in court. In other words, you're going to court. You're going to court. And the only way I would release it is if John turned over power or whatever, or just, you know, I don't know.
At the end of the day, I want to be able to see my mom. Well, you know, I know the court's not listening.
Nobody stopped her from seeing and holding her mother. She's doing it to herself. She's doing it to herself. She's, anytime you got a court case against somebody, they recommend that you don't go around them a lot, you know, and that's why we haven't seen her much, even when we was in California, you know, so, during the court case thing.
To me. Sick, baby. But the court is not listening to me, but I made my own choice.
But Mom, the court will listen to you. You haven't even talked to that lawyer.
The lawyer?
Nobody ever.
She has talked to Pat Murphy. She's saying that lawyer, like the distance Pat, like they don't have no cahoots with each other. See how smart that is? They do have cahoots. And then
Oh yeah, I gotta talk to the lawyer.
Yeah, she never said to remove you. She just said you wanted to spend time with me as well.
I told Mary on my birthday that Pat Murphy threatened to take Mom by force. And I told her, I said in her writing that she sent to Clay, that she sent us a copy of it, she said she wanted to get the judge to give Mary the authority to bring Mary to her. And she said that? I said, yeah. And I said, you know it already. And I told her, I said, she said, Pat Murphy told me, she said she was gonna, she's gonna force me to take Mom out. And I told Mary, it gave Mommy a nightmare. 2 days later, she had a dream that somebody was knocking on her door, and it was the police, and they were coming to take her to the court in handcuffs. And, you know what Mary said when I told her about Mom telling me about that dream? That was brought on by Pat Murphy yelling, I'm coming to put her, I'm gonna get the judgment, give somebody authority, get me authority to come back here and take her. And get her this interview. Get out of here, you psycho freak. She, I told Mary, I said, that's what she said. And I said, and she got in Mom's head. Subliminally, she, Mom didn't know it until she went to sleep and stuck in there. She had a dream that the police were whisking her away, or, you know, spiriting her away or to the court, you know. And you know what Mary said about that? On my birthday, she said, well, just tell her it's not true. No, that's not the point. The point is, you need to stop trusting that wicked attorney. She can't be trusted. She just tell Mom it's not true and just go on and let her be attorney. No. If she's lying, that both is lying like that, why would I then let her be my attorney? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
She should move. It was never you should move. Anyway,
Yeah. She don't know I moved.
she knows now. She knows now. That's why I'm just gonna do an interview over the computer with you. Like a interview on the.
But this lady, I did talk to her. In God's free will.
No, you did. She didn't say you said anything.
Okay. Okay, baby. Yes.
Yeah, you'll talk to her again, but it's
Again, see, she just said a few minutes ago, you got to talk to Pamela, you got to talk to this lady, this attorney, because you didn't talk to her. Now, Mom says, I did talk to her. Oh, yeah, you talked to her, but you'll talk to her again. See?
I can't make everybody talk. I can't make everybody. That's my mistake. Trying to be that peacekeeper and get in there, then people start yelling at me.
Amen.
Acting like I'm the only one that's on the paperwork and screaming at me.
Oh.
It's okay.
Everybody coming from Robin and I don't know. Everybody's coming from me, but it's okay. Woe is me. Woe is me. Woe is me. This woe is me. Basically throwing Ida and Robin under a bus, right? The way they will all eventually do it anyway. Okay? Guys singing, I tell you.
It's all.
Everybody's coming to you.
Well, they act like it's just me. It's me, Ida, and Robin are on that report up. Every negative thing comes to me. Mary, why should a lawyer do this? Mary, you ain't welcome here. I don't know. Everybody has a right to feel how they feel, and I respect it. But I don't disrespect anybody, and I'm respectful to all of them.
Let's
We
go.
have our arguments. We should have our arguments because we know each other. But I don't argue with any of them.
All right, baby. No, but I wasn't forced to. Well, I'm thinking about it. I wasn't forced to sign. And this is a little hard for me, but I wasn't forced to sign anything. I wasn't. I'm taking everything to Jesus. That's
one of the questions that lawyer had. There's so many papers that you can sign. As your advocate, you must make sure you even know what you're signing.
oh
And that's it.
yes,
Lawyer should say,
it should. It should.
just make sure you understand. And that's not saying you can't sign. You can sign whatever you want.
Yes.
It ain't none of her business what mom signs. She's a complete stranger. What she's talking about is a restraining order, really.
You understand exactly what you're signing.
That's right. You have to agree to sign what God is telling you to agree. And
But you
that's,
have to read through everything too.
yeah, you do have to.
80 pages. 81 pages.
A lot of pages.
Did this lady write all this?
Oh, right. That's what I say.
Yeah.
And I do know, my baby, everything that I'm signing. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Everything I'm signing, I know.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
And God knows.
So, what was the reason for the restraining order against Michael?
Against Mike?
Yeah. Why did you feel like you needed to put a restraining order against Michael for safety?
Oh, because
Has he ever done anything to you?
Michael done to me, if he did it to you, and if he did it to
She's not supposed to be asking any questions about the restraining order whatsoever.
if he did it,
Hey, John. Hey, John. Come on, John.
She didn't hear me, though.
then if he did it to John, he did it to me. Because it's like if anybody does anything to Mike, he's doing it to you. And if anybody does anything to John Edward, they're doing it to me too.
But he didn't do nothing to John either. Disagreement. Oh, he didn't do anything to John. John's the one that kind of followed him, but we won't talk about that. John can fill you in on what he thinks.
Okay.
But anyway, that paperwork said you had a problem with him for something he did to you. It didn't mention John. That's all. I was like, does mom even know she signed it? Things are not really true.
She signed it at the court, she signed it at the court in front of the probate camera. She signed it in the police department at the court, in the sheriff's department at the court, in front of the lady secretary, on camera. She signed it. She knows who she's reading and what she's signing. See, that's what I mean. They got her on that first paper ad. That's why they told the judge, she don't know how to think for herself. She don't know. She's being manipulated. John's manipulating her like he's a master manipulator. And I said, if I could manipulate and mastermind mom into doing what I want, it would still show that she's a cognitive mind that can go along with what people are telling her to do, which means she's not mentally incapable, and stop lying on her. You know? Right now, this part of the conversation, this is breaking the law 101. And yes, I'm taking this to the court on July 29th and let the judge know, look, Mary broke confidentiality of this thing. That's the rest.
Michael can have a run with mom.
No. Okay, baby.
No, Michael loves mom. Michael loves mom. My mom loves Michael. Michael loves John. That was just an incident that happened. We disagreed.
Michael don't like John.
Never thought to do that.
Oh.
Yet the whole time she's talking, Michael and Mary are plotting, and he already wrote it on a paper and told the court that John is dangerous, he's going to kill our mother, please get her out of there. That's love? It sound like love to you? Ignorant people.
The attack that he had over my bed.
Yeah, well, it's no attack over your bed. that's what I mean. Stories are not true. Michael said, don't talk to my wife that way. John said,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, John said, I'm not afraid of you. Michael walked out the room.
See, that's what I'm saying. The story is not true. What she's saying is not true. She keeps saying the opposite of truth and saying the truth is not true. You know?
John followed him and said, hey, brother, wait.
Oh,
And they walked the room. Nothing ever happened with that. And then Michael was like, I'm just going to walk away, John. And he walked away, Mom.
he did.
He didn't breathe another word to me.
The next day, John we thought was okay.
No, he didn't breathe another word to me. He was breathing. He was breathing all heavy. Like he didn't want to talk. And then he was like, then he walked away. Like he was trying to strain himself, like I'm about to hit you if you're not careful. Back up, just let me go. What if I don't just let you go? If I stand here in your way and keep saying, Mikey, 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 Mikey. You know?
And Michael gave him a visit all after the
He showed his true personality. He snapped.
They were just fine.
No, the visits were not fine. The visits were comprised of him being in the room with their mom in the kitchen preparing something for mom, and Mary's in there pretending to help mom with post sepsis and post pneumonia, helping her in the bathroom, whatever. Just that one day, of course. Then, hey John, do you have some? John, Mary asked you a question. All right, under my room. Next thing you know, he's in the living room. He's being made to go in the living room so he can put a buffer on, you know, to calm himself. So that's not far enough. Say, what if me and you Mary get into an argument in mom's room? You think he's not going to run and get back up and run into the room and try to be a superhero? No. No, we shouldn't even risk that. Shouldn't even risk it. Thanks. Shouldn't even risk it.
Okay. Well, that was
But because John believes they were going to bring you to my house. He wanted it to be so. You have to understand, although against Michael.
Stop. John believes they were going to bring it to my house. On the court order, the very first one, and the one after that, Mary ordered, please bring her, Judge. Please. She got an address on everything. Please bring Georgia to this address and basically make this her new address because she's in danger with John. He's got a mental problem. That's what they say, he got a mental problem. He could snap any minute. Now, you see how she lies? She says, John believes that they're going to bring you to my house. And then Richard adds the seasoning by saying, you filling grandma's head with lies. No, your picky-headed mother is filling grandma's head with lies. She just lied to understand. Richard is something else. I told him, no, that's not what she wants, to bring her to the house. It's written on the document. Mary told me the document lady wrote it. That's what she told me on my birthday. No, that was the document lady. She wrote that. The one that prepares the documents. So the document lady, how she found out where you live? The document lady decided to write down on there for the judge. Judge, can you please? But she put herself in the first person. In other words, on the document, she put herself down there as you. It's like it's you writing it. And it clearly states, move her here. She cleaned it up. She messed it around.
You won't be allowed in my house. I know that already.
So she's saying, the reason why he got the restraining order is so you won't be allowed in my house. I already know that already. And you know, it sticks. And she's still not allowed in your house.
But
I'm not gonna argue it. Like I said, I'm still not gonna argue.
Yeah. That right there, the little pause, she knows that it's not undone. Later she'll say that the judge, it's not like that really.
God is in charge, and he'll do what he thinks is best.
yeah,
And from the start, the judge has been saying you like you would have dismissed the whole case anyway. And John just
The judge was lying. I would dismiss the whole case if you would just been there. 128. You should have dismissed it anyway, because Robert wasn't there either. Robert gonna say, yes, I was. I was there. Not so much you was on a cruise. It don't matter where I was. You can get on remotely from anywhere. I said, Ida wasn't there either. She was busy to show up. She was there. She was there. Yeah, sure. But anyway, yeah. Progress.
showed up. But all of this stuff is going on. Brian back and forth to the court, filing this, filing that. And the case would have been dismissed because of what you say. What your wishes are. It's not even necessary.
but the restraining order that is final. I signed it.
I know. The judge ordered that Michael doesn't harass you because he sees that that wasn't true. That he wasn't doing anything to you.
See that? What? She doesn't even know Mark Freiberg. He didn't put out no new orders. That would be in writing. We went and checked. See if there was new orders. There are no new orders on that. We're still ordered to show up on July 28th. That's all we're done. He put out an order for you not to harass you. That's all, she said. That's not what the order says. What's wrong with this lying heifer?
That he wasn't doing anything to me.
Right.
That wasn't true.
And he didn't do nothing to John.
Oh, but John.
He didn't do nothing to John.
No, it wasn't no physical contact, but there was a threat to make physical contact. And yes, they protect people with restraining orders for that too. They even ask you when you're going out, did they physically touch you? And you put, no, they did not, but they're about to, you know.
Neither. And if John be honest, you tell the truth.
If I'll be honest.
Michael said, don't talk to my wife that way. John stood up. They were face to face. And John said, I'm not afraid of you. And Michael walked out of the room. And John chased him out of the room. Michael, wait. And he still
I chased him out of the room.
didn't touch John at all. And he left. And John texted him. And said, sorry for...
And I sent those text messages to the kiosk, to the judge. I put those text messages in with Mom's restraining order and the pictures of Michael and Mary shooting guns at the gun range and all that stuff. I put those text messages up. So it was not. There's no order. There's no restraining order. Judge is going to tell you, I order you not to harass them, and that's it. No, they came to Michael's house looking for Michael so he can turn his guns over, and so they can serve him. And he kept dipping the cops.
Jump in your face when I'm little, such.
Uh-huh.
And then the next day, Michael came back to the hospital. They said, hey. And Michael continued to visit you. And everything was just fine. They never had another disagreement after that, ever. And then...
We don't have to. Some people that almost get into things like that, and now this dude is on edge every time he sees me. He's not the same anymore. You know, he's always like ready to scrap. You know, even though I'm being nice to him, he's been kind of gruff to me, grumpy old troll, which means he's still ready to snap anytime me and her were to get into an argument. You know, some people that put in restraining orders, sometimes they wait. Sadly, they wait too long to put it in. And sadly, it looks like sometimes they're waiting too long, and they think it's too long, it's too late to put it in. It's 4 months, and it's really not. It's not too late. Do it anyway.
Because months later, that's why it looks so funny. A restraining order from a lady who was not even alert in the hospital, who didn't even see it.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't even see it.
She doesn't have to. When she wakes up and she's told the story, she can put it on her restraining order and say, look, he did that. He almost hurt me. I don't need him hurt me why he's trying to jump on you, and we're together all the time. So let me get the restraining order on him. Now, that's why the police, none of them had a problem with it.
That's weird. How can she do a restraining order?
No, it's weird. That's not what's weird to nobody. If it was weird, the judge wouldn't have permitted it. If it was weird, the cops wouldn't have signed off on it. It's not weird. So the cops are going 3 times a week to search for Michael based on, that was kind of weird. Maybe we shouldn't even officially, take this restraining order seriously. Not serious enough to knock on his door. But they did. They took it seriously enough to knock on his door, which means the opposite of what she's saying,
Someone for something she doesn't see. And it has nothing to do with her. Like, literally, John could have tried that. But he should have did it months ago if he felt like Michael was going to cause harm instead of socializing with him. Instead of messages to him and talking to him right
Well, the restraining order was signed at the police office.
I know. And it wasn't true, though. Michael was not bothering you. That's what that means.
It's not what it means. If it was signed at the police office, they granted it, and they would not help put it through if it was not true. Are the police dumb? Stop, Mary. Stop.
I had an issue with Michael. Then he could do a restraining order against Michael. But for you to do it, that means that Michael did something to you. Or he tried to threaten you, but that's not true.
But I finalized the order at the police office.
I get it, but it wasn't. But it's still, Mom. If Michael didn't do nothing to you,
it was him and John.
She finalized it. That's exactly what she did.
John and him had a disagreement in the hospital, and it was over. It was in 5 minutes.
Okay.
They just anybody, and they saw each other for days after that.
Okay.
Michael came to your house when you came.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he came with an attitude. He came disrespectful. He came, John, Mary said this. Don't you order me around. Why? Or are you going to sit in the living room and pretend to put a buffer on, and the minute you hear me and Mary argue, you're going to jump up and run the room? Come on.
But I did. Did you hear me? Baby?
And that's where she got cut off. That's where she got cut off, but she never called back. We never called her back. There you have it. The whitewash, all the lies being told. And stuff. I think that's it. That's it. And I'm tired. So now, that's all I want to give you for tonight. And I'll give you some more maybe tomorrow or the next day. Got some errands to run tomorrow morning. Yeah. And, yep. I'll show you more of the documents tomorrow. Yeah, you're going to love those. You're going to love what these 3 have documented and stated, all the lies that they told. This is ridiculous. Holla. I love you guys. God's free. God bless.